I look so tired today.
Are you tired?
Not really. No, I'm excited.
Yeah. You got up and
I couldn't get sleep.
You were.
I had the old skitter last night.
Easy, there you go. That's our intro. There's our intro. Hello everybody and welcome to the Empty Promise podcast. My name is Chris and today, on this fine Sunday morning, I am joined around the table by not just my best friend in the whole wide world, Mr. James D. Downey.
Oh, I thought
Hello.
you were going to say me.
But by two special guests we have today, my brother Aaron.
Hello.
And we have Gavin, the main man, M.
That'll do, okay. Yeah. It's good to be here, thank you.
Yeah, because we don't know what his surname is. So.
No, just leave,
Apparently neither does he.
leave the surname alone.
There we go. Gentlemen, it is absolutely fantastic that the four of us managed to pull this off and get together.
It's been a long time coming.
It
Feel.
has, yeah.
I was
been
talking
in
about
the
this for a
works.
while, like maybe over a year or so.
Well over a year, I
Yeah,
think.
it's good.
Yeah.
Our people are talking to your people talking to Aaron's people.
Yeah.
and
Just finally,
Aaron's good people.
we all finally managed to get together the day after Halloween for the final spooky episode
I like it.
of the year. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
worked
like it.
out well.
Right on schedule.
This is the 1st of November, and I have a bit of on this day, if anybody cares for some facts for this day. 1755 is where we're going to start.
It's a good year.
The Lisbon earthquake kills more than 50,000 people in Portugal.
Okay.
I like what you've done there.
What?
Because I was in Lisbon this
Oh,
year.
that's
This guy, he's a kidder, isn't he?
1814, the Congress of Vienna opens to redraw the European political map. So it was redrawn.
It's not as good as the first one.
No, but this one's good. 1952, Ivy Mike is the first thermonuclear weapon to utilize the H-bomb design and is dropped and detonated in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
I think that's like Bikini Atoll. That
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know.
Bikini Bottom.
yeah,
Mhm.
where like
The birth of
SpongeBob
SpongeBob.
basically came from, I think. So they dropped the
Ivy
first
Mike
one.
is a cool name.
Ivy Mike's a great name.
Yeah.
You know, what do you call your bomb? Ivy Mike.
Yeah.
Fat man.
Fat man.
I actually have a few points on names later.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I've got here, you know, I'll throw it in later.
Alright,
Nice,
this is
nice,
good.
You know?
1997, here we go. Titanic, which was directed by James Cameron, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, premieres at the Tokyo International Film Festival.
Wow.
Big day.
Big day.
Weird
Big
day.
day.
Banger, Tokyo.
Isn't it? Yeah. I thought, like, why would you not take
I
that
thought it was
to,
Dublin or
like, LA?
Dublin.
the Titanic, you said?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why
right.
not
that's
just do
what
the
it
Irish
was.
thing?
I
Like,
don't know, I
Belfast,
suppose.
put in Belfast in.
1969,
Armagh.
Come on.
Please.
the Beatles' Abbey Road album goes to number 1 in the US and stays number 1 for 11 weeks. And today's famous birthday is Gary Player, the golfer.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
So
Big
Very
day.
good. Great
Big
golfer.
day.
yeah, that is all the news I have for this day.
That's impressive.
That's good.
It is the
I like
first, though. Yeah.
Yeah, the 1st of November.
Yeah.
Remember,
Lisbon, lovely place, by the way.
Lisbon, eh?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Lisburn.
No, Lisbon.
Gorgeous.
You made the most of Lisbon like a couple of months ago, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Went there 3 nights or something. Lovely.
Nice.
Flights are like £50. Return.
Was that because of COVID?
It
'cause no one's
it might have
going?
been actually, yeah, it was. It was sort of during
That's good
COVID,
for
but
it.
we're
You
still
were in
safe to
Lisbon
travel.
as well a couple of years ago at the boys.
2
weren't
years
you?
ago, yeah. It's good times, good times.
Did you like it, yeah?
Did like it actually, yeah. It was
I
good
thought it
crack.
was class.
Where did we wind up?
Great city.
Fuck, I forget what you call it, but you know what? They're like all the bars, streets and streets of bars.
Pink Street, it's called.
What's it called?
Pink Street.
Pink Street, yeah.
Yes,
And they're
it's good.
they're no bigger than this room.
Yeah.
All of the pubs.
And they're all classy as well, real, you know, old style and
Music
just a nice
blaring.
place, yeah.
It was good
Nice.
crack. That's probably the best part about it, I think.
This is once again Empty Promise discuss places to go in Europe and not to go.
Yeah.
Dubrovnik still being
Dubrovnik, murder
don't go
capital
there.
of the world?
Is it?
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah, Dubrovnik.
I thought somewhere in
You said
South
murder
Africa.
capital?
No, we talked about this was a couple of weeks
Oh,
ago.
okay.
We talked about those-
Nick Cage is there, so it has
Nick-
to be the murder capital. of
That's what
something.
it was. Nick Cage was there, and then I told Dee that I listened to a true crime podcast a couple of months ago, and there was a young girl who was interrailing who was brutally murdered, decapitated, and thrown into the ocean in Dubrovnik.
Yeah. So there's one
crazy.
case of it, but that is now made it the
Yeah.
murder
I
capital.
mean, that
Mm.
happens in Thailand all the time. Like, you hear them stories in Thailand. Well, I think so. I don't know. Like, it could be like, I'm sure there is. You hear those stories all the time. You know,
Yeah.
people going to Thailand or you know those countries and just not coming home.
Yeah, it could
They
be.
do.
There you go.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
Dubrovnik,
But-
Thailand,
Thailand.
everywhere else,
no goes.
pretty much okay.
Don't go there.
Lisbon.
Yeah.
Go.
Lisbon's a
Thumbs
go.
up. I guess one thumb up.
And no better time actually to first off, hello to everybody tuning into the podcast. If this is your first podcast, you are very much welcome, and to returning listeners and viewers, you are most welcome. And no better time to listen to podcasts than lockdown.
Mhm.
You know,
Agree, totally agree.
the entire Europe is heading back in. Apparently on Monday we're heading back into another. Well, the UK is heading back into another 4-week lockdown. So no better time to binge watch your favorite podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. I'm banging out 7-10 podcasts a week. Like.
Jesus,
That's impressive.
Yeah.
that is impressive. I'll listen to this when I
listen to our podcast.
I was saying, do you watch it back? Do you watch it? No.
Quality control.
Quality control
Could use some work.
I do whenever we edit it, or like if I have to clip like a couple little videos for Instagram and stuff.
Because you have some cracking podcasts, like, you know, I'm sure you just want to listen to them back and stuff, you know. And
the best one I think was a couple of weeks ago. The D and I both said actually that we just got drawn into listening to.
Which one was that?
I don't even. It was a spooky one. But I don't remember what it was.
Was it the guy Taylor that did in England? Was that last week?
No, it was the week before.
It was the week before that.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
We're really
I'm trying to think what it was.
Yeah.
You have been on top of things this past while, though.
Yeah.
Ever since it sort of creeped up to the 100th episode, you've really changed your game. Like
Yeah,
episodes every week or every fortnight, whatever you do. Normally, I wait every Monday night waiting on an Empty Promise podcast to be uploaded, and then it wouldn't get uploaded, and then 4 weeks later, we've done it.
Yeah, because normally I get a picture from Gavin, and it's just like our faces and his TV screen. I'm like, oh shit, we look good. Yeah, good.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Never thought about face on TV screen before.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think it's scale well.
It's far better watching podcasts. I watch them all.
Yeah.
See,
That's interesting because I would think
I like to listen.
I put it. Yeah.
But I do listen.
The only
Like, I don't watch it. I'm on my phone or I'm doing something, and then once something good comes up, you know, you sort of you zone in, and yeah,
the only ones I will listen or watch will be Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well, I got you on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but only because I don't like listening to him because there's a lot of ads.
Yeah,
listening.
I was actually thinking about that last night. I was thinking about how long I've sort of known you and known about this podcast and stuff, and you messaged me for a haircut roughly whenever I opened up, which is 3 years ago now, and it was under Excite Gaming, and I sort of thought, oh, fuck, who's Excite Gaming? Because it was only opened up a new barbers and stuff, and
Poor
I thought,
child.
who's going to come?
Yeah.
So I didn't do much research, so I was busy, and I remember looking at my phone going, Excite Gaming, this is going to be class, and I've got a bit of a celebrity coming in to get his haircut, like, this is what I thought. And then, you know, the time came, it was like the next day, and Chris got out of the car, like, and it was you, and it was like, oh, I think I know you from the gyms and stuff, and then that was that. Like,
yeah,
so,
that is right, yeah.
But I've noticed, you know, through the past 3 years, you have listened to some stuff I've said, you've took on board.
We always see that's the thing. We always take on board, like whenever people who listen to the podcast get back to us, and we reiterate that every single week that if there's something that you want us to cover or that we might find exciting,
we will happily do it.
I mean, it started off as a gaming podcast for you, didn't it? Like, and which I'm not a big gamer. Exactly. I'm not like you, and I think I've now seen the podcast turn into more of a podcast about conspiracies, human feats, stuff like that. Like thinking to like BD Cooper, isn't it? And like Forrest Fane.
DB Cooper was like one of the biggest ones, I think, that really
was huge for me. Like,
that's one of the best stories I think you've ever brought this podcast.
It was good. Who told the Forrest Fane story as well?
D brings the
which story?
Forrest Fane.
Forrest Fane.
Oh yeah, fuck it.
That was really good. I remember like listening to that. I think I was coming back from Donegal or something in the car, and I got all into it. Like, I remember pulling over the side of the road, and at one time, I told you whenever you're getting your hair cut, like, one time I priced flights to like, like I was looking through it, and I was like, it's definitely in this mountain near San Francisco. I'm sure I can get here. Like, I'm sure I can find it. It's in a pond, and the sun's shining down on it. And I was like, I found this thing. Price flight £600. Thanks, Chris. We can get here for £600.
Yeah, then I fucking ruined it for you at the end.
I know. I was like, don't tell me it's been found.
So it was found, but it wasn't found. A picture was sent to the guy.
The guy
who
hit it, he says it's been found, and he says, I'm happy that it's been found or whatever. But the guy who found it hasn't come out and said, like, oh, here, I'm the one who found it. He's just like, oh, I want to be
I don't know, I feel a bit, it's a bit funny out there.
Skeptical about the whole thing. Yeah.
I'm a bit skeptical as well, to be honest with you.
Cover up.
But I'm a conspiracy guy, so.
Yeah, I think, we've definitely found our stride in recent episodes.
Yeah, you've grew in from that sort of gaming. The gaming's almost gone now, so it is. I haven't really heard any gaming talk, which is good for me.
The only time that we'll ever kind of really do gaming is if we get some of the old guys back on to do a podcast, and we want to specifically talk about like awards or something, I think. But
video games.
Yeah. But apart from that, I love what we do now. So
it's far better, definitely is. These are good.
Speaking of which, why don't we get into the news this week? We got some news.
Oh. Have we?
Have you got news?
No, I didn't.
Oh, wait. I thought you had something.
I thought you brought the news, Gavin. Like,
this is what I've been worried about. He's like, Chris, do you want to come on the podcast? I said, that's okay. And what do you want me to do? Like, I normally listen to you talk, so I think...
Well, now you're going to listen in the flesh.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's better, isn't it? It's better in HD. Put your 3D glasses on now.
I have a single piece of news, D, this week. I can either bring to you. It's not big news. It might benefit us, but I can bring it before or after you want to go.
Bring it.
It is that Shure, the audio giants, have released a new podcast mic.
My God.
That is my news of this week.
Wow, what's it, dear?
So the Shure SM7Bs
$6,000.
were the ones that I sent you before. Used to be like, well, not used to be. They're like $300-400 each.
For a mic.
Yeah, per mic. But now they've seen that like there's such a spike in people starting podcasts and things that they've released a smaller version of the SM7B that's going for like $200 now. So
That's nice.
they've
That's
knocked
doable.
out about $150 of it. So that's my news for this
Yeah.
week.
Why don't you just get on to your sponsors, and get a few mics?
Yeah.
We'll
Lunchtime,
speak with them. Yeah, we'll
Is it Munster or
probably take a while.
or
So many of
Order
them.
vanilla.
Yeah.
I got stupid news, Chris,
Yes.
as per usual.
Yes.
Like,
That's what we love here.
y'all seen the PS5, Xbox Series X consoles?
Yeah.
We're back to the gaming thing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
disappointed.
This isn't really
But I've
about the
seen it,
games
yeah.
themselves. This is more about the fact that the PS5 looks like a Wi-Fi router and the Xbox looks
I've
like a
heard somebody
fridge.
told me it was
It looks like
a
that.
V-shape or something, is it? No.
Nah,
But
that was
that's
a weird
terrible.
fucking
No?
rumor. It was like the dev kit was a V and everyone was like, it's going to be a big fucking
Oh,
V, isn't
yeah.
it? For 5.
For 5, that's right.
But it wasn't.
Have any of you ordered one?
no,
No, you couldn't get your hands on
couldn't
them.
get it.
No,
No.
yeah, it's full straight out.
It's mad.
The day after the pre-orders went on sale, I was telling I was in Belfast and walking around the corner, and there was a queue way up the street, like towards City Hall. I followed the queue the whole way to game. There was about 200-300 people in the queue waiting to pre-order.
Whereabouts is the game in Belfast?
You know where the Primark was that burned down?
Oh yeah.
Beside it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy as
Opposite.
well.
Yeah.
I should get oh no, we did have an episode semi-dedicated to that.
That was our first episode in the studio.
Spider-Man swings and Primark burns.
That
what
was the
the
title,
episode
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Good teams.
But anyway, yes.
Yeah, basically the Xbox is a big block. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Big block. Looked like a fridge, and a lot of people dropped the memes about how basically it's just a mini fridge.
Mhm.
Well, Xbox have went ahead and made a fridge.
Snoop Dogg has it.
Actually,
Snoop Dogg has
Snoop
it.
Dogg has the fridge in his house.
A fully fledged, full size
So my-
fridge that looks like an Xbox.
Yeah.
But it functions as a fridge.
It's a fully functional
nice.
fridge.
It'd be nice to have a corner in there.
It won't be nice to have a corner in there.
How much are
Um,
these retail at?
They're not retail, but there's competitions to get them.
Oh, right, okay.
Power your memes
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
is the tagline for that one.
Jesus.
I just thought that was
Well, I
incredible.
mean, fair play for Microsoft to just steering into the skid
Yeah,
rather than,
yeah.
than away from it, you know?
Because they could have been real ratty about it and been like,
Yeah.
no, it's just sleek fucking blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah. They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, it does
Instead
look like
they're
a
like,
fridge.
It's just a big black box.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
glad
yeah.
they've done that, yeah.
A big black box. On more serious news, Sean Connery is dead.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that, I can't believe we did talk about that already. Like,
That was
I literally just stuck that in this morning whenever I read about it, or I seen it last night, but I stuck it in
that was
this morning.
sad, yeah. I heard about that yesterday as well. That was.
Yeah.
very sad. What a legend.
But he died at like, he was like 90?
90, he was 90,
In the
yeah.
Bahamas in his sleep.
Legend.
Like,
What a way to go.
Like, yeah.
Unreal.
No better way to go
No.
for a better man. Like,
That's
you
it,
know.
like.
But whenever Mum told me that news in the house, I was like, what? I was like, how could he be dead? What? And here's me thinking that like, the man was only like in his 60s or something.
Mm.
Like,
Oh, so
you know,
I
just-
didn't think he was
aged
90.
really
You do think
well.
of movie stars like that. I always think of Brad Pitt. Like Brad Pitt is a man in his 30s, but he's not. He's the same age as our parents. Like he's the same
Yeah,
age as my mum and
yeah.
dad. He's
Yeah,
56.
yeah,
Did you see them in the films that you like?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's the age that they are.
Yeah, yeah.
And you see them all growing old. It's
Yeah,
quite
like
sad
when Sean
sometimes.
Connery started doing like the Bond
depressing
movies,
sometimes.
like he must have been like what in his 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still my favorite James Bond.
He would be probably. Like,
Behind, well, I think if anybody, Daniel Craig would overtake that for me.
Daniel Craig's been good. Daniel Craig's underrated as James Bond. I think. Like
it's because he's a
I
modern
do.
one.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
a lot of people who like the originals don't like him because he's modern.
Modern.
And, like,
Is
sort
it
of semi-serious.
Is it Robert Pattinson's the next Bond, or is that Batman? Is that
Oh, he's Batman.
Batman?
Yeah. I
There,
don't know who the next
there was
one is.
somebody. Yeah, I had
My
that
brother
news, and
definitely
then
knows.
I couldn't remember who it was. That was
It's not
tipped
Idris Elba,
to
is
be.
it? No?
No,
He
no.
was lined up for it though. I think.
There was word that there was a female Bond coming
Heard
in
that
there
too.
as well.
So that
So.
can just go in the bin.
news.
But yeah, poor Sean Connery. Not poor Sean Connery, but I mean he
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's a sad
it's a
news.
sad time. Favorite Sean Connery movie?
Oh, I like
Indiana
this.
Jones.
Oh, India.
Now, that's a
Yeah.
curveball there. I wouldn't have expected that one.
I literally, this was on like Reddit or something. I was reading. I was like, that probably. Oh well. The Rock.
The Rock.
Well, is that the one with Alcatraz? Isn't
Yeah.
it? Who's
And,
in that?
Nick Cage.
I knew that there, but it was
Oh, Lord,
it's
it's
Ben
not.
Affleck. Ben Affleck's on it too, no? Ben Affleck.
No, but Gene Hackman. Isn't it?
I've definitely seen it. Is there not a young Ben
Ed
Affleck?
Harris.
Ed
Ed Harris
Harris,
is the
yeah.
bad guy.
He's such a
That's-
good bad
I've
guy.
seen
He's
that
great.
movie.
Yeah.
Huh?
I've seen that before.
That's a
how
great
it
movie,
is.
yeah.
Excellent
He
movie.
breaks back into Alcatraz.
Aaron, what's your favourite comedy film?
I don't know
Come
much.
on, you
no.
two.
I don't know much,
Guess
unfortunately.
one.
We'll say James Bond.
Batman.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
I mean, yeah, the older James Bonds are fantastic.
Yeah,
They're still
brilliant.
watchable.
The,
Oh,
the
they're- yeah,
Untouchables.
The
What a film.
Untouchables. Yeah.
I have actually never seen it.
That's
Kevin Costner as well.
You've not seen it as well.
No.
That's crazy.
But that's Kevin Costner.
Yes,
We
Al
studied
Capone.
one of them scenes.
Yes.
Remember in Moving Images with
Oh, the steps.
the steps,
baby?
the pram?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a good.
Great
scene.
film. All about Al Capone and the
I have seen that actually.
prohibition,
Yeah.
like the legalization of
They put
alcohol. or
one of ours in the
whatever.
hospital. We put one of theirs in the morgue.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah,
Oh.
Connery says that too. I think.
Does he?
Yeah, and you bring a knife to a gunfight. That's the famous line out of that. film.
Oh.
No, yeah, you bring a knife to a gunfight.
Bring a gun to a knife fight.
Is it that way? I don't know. Oh, classic D. You always come up with stuff like you don't know this, but you've be things that you say. You're a very funny guy. So.
Crap.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
James Bond, Sean Connery
Yeah.
has died at the age of 90.
That's sad.
You
You
got
got
any other news?
no.
Oh, good. I just have a little bit of movie star news.
Obviously.
Someone you might have heard of. Little known actor, method actor, Nicolas Cage. He's been in a few things. Been in a lot of movies lately. His next movie, or one of his next movies, because I keep saying his next movie, and he's got like 6 on the go. Like you'd be here,
That's right. Yeah.
he's coming out with
Knocking them out of the park.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu.
They keep
Well,
throwing
that's
him
before
out.
Christmas.
So you like this one, Chris? It's Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, this is the Five Nights at Freddy's
It's
spin-off.
Five
kinda
Nights
thing,
at Freddy's. Basically a rip-off is what
yeah.
it is.
This is terrific.
No, no.
Nicolas Cage will be battling animatronic terrors in the upcoming horror film Willy's Wonderland. There was a 15-second long trailer.
Was there?
Yeah, that was like a teaser trailer that was released there yesterday. And basically it is Nick Cage screams animatronic things looking creepy as fuck, and then just blood.
Oh,
Just like all
awesome.
these things cut together, and you're like, this looks intense.
Have you got a release date for this?
No, I don't think so
He's
yet.
Doing
I think
some
it's
weird films. He's
2021.
Like,
He does like that.
he must
He must
be
be a rock
money,
bottom.
like.
Yeah, he's at rock bottom.
That's what you said. Like he was at rock bottom.
yeah,
That's
he
why
was
he
rock
does
bottom.
these
Like,
things, yeah.
he was like he owed so much money.
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
2021, Chris. That's all we have for that date. And
2021.
God knows what's going to happen because everything's been pushed back because of COVID anyway.
I'm very excited. Just that they're even thinking about making a movie about
Yeah.
Freddy's.
I mean, it's in production. Like it's happening. Like,
Tremendous,
so you will
yeah.
get to see that.
That'd be creepy. Excellent. That's great news.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it? That's all the
Yeah, I
news?
think that's our news for this
Yeah,
week.
very good.
As you can see, it's really in depth.
concise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets the point across.
Before we break into our main topics for this week, remember you can find the video version of this podcast over at youtube.com/emptypromisepodcast. The audio is available on any podcast hosting service. Just search for the handle Empty Promise Podcast. And if you wish to get in touch with us, again, you can find us on any social media. Twitter and Instagram work best. And again, search for the handle Empty Promise Podcast. This week, we are bringing some of the best, creepiest, weirdest stories, creepy stories, local ghost stories.
Local true ghost
Local
stories.
true
Yeah,
ghost
that's
the
stories,
question.
That's the big
They
one.
could be
yeah.
lies, but they could be the truth.
So I have some this week. Just before we get into this, you messaged me, and you were kind of saying it's pretty hard to find anything.
Yeah. And then like verifiable.
Yeah,
and
that's what I
just
was
your dad
thinking as
telling
well,
you.
because...
But they're the kind of stories I like. Yeah,
But they're the funny ones, but most people in Armagh do tell lies, like, so most control, most of the stories are going to be lies, like, with a bit of truth. So,
But even like a lot of the ones that I was like coming across were like, oh yeah, do you remember that place up there? Yeah, it's haunted.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
and you're
it's
like,
not
when
much.
you're
And I was
young,
thinking,
that's
there is a couple of
Oh.
stories I have, but like people are living in the houses now and stuff, like, and you don't
Yeah.
want to, like,
Yeah, you
oh,
don't
I
wanna
used to
break it,
watch,
yeah.
and like kids can't sleep.
Well,
Why
we're
don't
like
we-
giving the full address, postcode, and all that.
Yeah.
That house right there. It's haunted. 6
That's the
people
one.
died.
Well, why don't I start with one of the more famous ones from our local city in your hometown, Armagh, which is the Green Lady of Vickers Hill.
Yeah. Oh, and I live quite close to Vickers Hill as well.
I
live,
were-
like,
yeah.
There you go, boy.
I might go there tonight after this.
Just sit in the dark.
Oh, God, this
I'm
is what we
ready.
talk about. So Vickers Hill in Armagh, Ireland, is known for having a mythical spirit known as the Green Lady. The paranormal site of this tale has evolved through the years and has many different versions, including different buildings with the haunts supposedly happen and varied appearances of the ghost. But every ghost story of the Green Lady stems from a very macabre and very real story from Vickers Hill's past. So Armagh, for anybody who's listening that doesn't know, it's an old Georgian city. You know, there's a lot of like history there. There's a lot of like old Georgian buildings.
Yeah.
That's really all I know about
I think years ago they kind of revolved everything around, do you know, like where the Church of Ireland is up there? The cinema, the
very
Church
top,
of Ireland. So
yeah.
that was the main, and then it
Grew
grew around there. So all the buildings around there, you notice, are quite old and Georgian. I live in a Georgian building as
That's
well
right,
myself.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so
You know,
so go easy in that whole
I
phone
wouldn't
there.
go home. The murder case that birthed the legend happened more than 125 years ago, when a 21-year-old Belina Pryor was charged with the murder of 4-year-old Anne Slavin. Much like the ghost story that followed, the details of the case have been debated over the years, no doubt altered during the course of numerous tellings going on for more than a century. In the court records, though, it states that Pryor stood accused of intentionally drowning the child in a kitchen boiler.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Boiler.
Boiler.
Or a cauldron type
Oh,
thing, because it would have been
fuck.
125 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't need that.
Her defense was that the child slipped off a tin can placed next to the boiler and fell in.
Yeah, that old shit.
That would hold up like.
Can caused it, you know.
In her grief for not being able to save the child, Belina blamed herself for the death and confessed. However, her sister Adele claimed that Belina was not alone with Anne for long, and when she emerged from the kitchen, she was soaking wet and white as a ghost and had said, "Run down, I did not do it." Later, she allegedly proclaimed, "I have killed the child." While on trial, she attempted suicide in her cell by cutting her throat, which resulted in her being moved into an asylum. She was later found guilty of murder but declared insane and remained in the asylum in Armagh for a while before being moved to another facility in Dublin.
So we had an asylum as well, Norma.
Hey, is that the
St.
prison?
Luke's is not, was it?
Oh, this, yeah, right enough, St. Luke's.
So it would have been down to St. Luke, but she would have probably went to the prison, because the prison is that old at the top of the mall, is it not?
Yeah, the old, yeah, right enough.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's around as a women's prison.
Would-
was
would-
it back then?
Would St. Luke's be...
St. Luke's
That old?
is bound to be that old.
Is
It
it,
has to
yeah?
be that old. I think it is.
I've heard some weird stories from there as well.
Yeah, I think it's haunted.
I used to work with a man who used to do nights there as
Yeah.
a night nurse there, and he said
Is he still alive?
some of the stories. Yeah. Well, he's still alive.
He's still alive.
There are other versions of the story, but in the end, Belina was released from the asylum, and she and her mother supposedly died in poverty in a Dublin slum.
Oh.
Some believe her mother killed her and then committed suicide because their bodies were said to have been found with poison in them, but those details are sketchy. There is also the belief that Belina suffered from fainting spells brought on by the tragic loss of her father some years before. It had been theorized that, taking into account her sister's description of her after the incident, that Belina did actually suffer one of these spells and was unable to save young Anne from drowning, and did not actually murder her. The paranormal side of the tale definitely sounds like a sensational urban folklore. It is said that Belina's soul was somehow captured in a green bottle, and if the bottle is broken, then her spirit will escape and kill again.
I mean, I get goosebumps right now.
It is believed that because of this, the bottle was bricked up somewhere in a window on Vickers Hill. There are several people who claim to have captured her spirit in pictures, which seems weird if she's supposed to be trapped in the bottle. Although it seems quite apparent that the Green Lady lore involving the bottle and the window are nothing more than superstition, the story surrounding the legend is quite poignant and chilling. Was Belina truly a child killer, or was she actually a victim of a mortally unfortunate circumstance? If her spirit does lurk about her old house in Vickers Hill, is it because she was truly a malevolent murderer, or is she stuck there by the sadness of her false conviction, or the guilt of the harbours for being unable to save poor Anne Slavin?
How's that spelled?
Slavin.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
I mean, how sure are we that these are actually real names? Are they real names? Or they could exist?
Yeah, right enough.
These
Yeah.
No,
details
so
have
are
been
we talking
changed.
about someone? Do they still have?
Yeah, like it could be a complete.
It could be, but it sounds real. And I have heard that story about the bottle.
Yeah,
I have heard of it. Plus, I did hear a story a few years back. Maybe it's 10 years now or so, 15 years. But there is a bar in Armagh. I don't know if we should name it, but
Oh, name. Is this the hole in the wall?
no, it's. Well, see, I'm not certain if it was this bar, but I'm 75%. So yeah, I think it was a tubby jug,
Okay.
and they were
Jug?
doing
Bottle.
renovations down there. Now, I'm not sure if it was definitely that bar, but the story is that they were doing renovations and they came across a bottle it was circled by something else, and there's an axe.
Sorry.
Chris, nicely done. Just shit all over my story. But where were we now? I forgot about it.
Toby
Bottle.
joke.
A tubby jug. So they found a bottle, and like a sort of like an X marks a spot, a real old bottle type thing. And what's wrong with you? Come on, get it out of you.
I don't believe he
got
did
it.
that in an effort not to interrupt you.
I know.
So he's like, I'll
It's
just
okay.
fucking
He's fucking.
scoff this
Don't
thing.
take a drink because it might wash it down the wrong tube and then you
We're
start
done.
to
We're
call.
done. We're done.
Are you sure?
Sorry. Yeah.
You alright?
You finished?
Can I go on?
You
Yeah,
done?
I'm done. Sorry. Apologies.
It's okay. It's fine. Yeah.
Not get away with
Well,
that
Annie,
shit.
I'm stuck to this chair. Look.
Apologies.
What is it?
That's just a
Anyway, yes, but a bottle was firing down there, and it was very suspicious the way it was firing. And I think like priests and stuff were called down. He said, "Don't whatever you do not smash that bottle.
Yeah.
Don't smash it open." And he took it and took it away.
I heard the exact same story. I don't know. I don't remember it being for a pub. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it was that pub, but
Do you know
could
who
be
told
wrong.
us that story or told me that story anyway?
Was it one of my ones?
No.
One of my relatives?
Kevin Devine.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Kevin Devine and like that's
was that a teacher?
yeah, it was our
Yeah.
teacher, yeah.
You know
Where
that?
was he in Katie? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or he teacher.
Maybe you just heard the guy. Is he still there now?
No.
No, he's gone.
No.
He's retired or whatever. But he told us that story about like he didn't specify like
Yeah.
pub or whatever. He said the exact same thing.
Normally, when teachers tell you that stuff, it is true. Like
Well,
I've
you believe
heard-
them, don't you? 'Cause
you believe because they're teachers.
There's a
They're
story.
smart.
There's a story as well that in Derry actually there was a spirit caught in a bottle and was put out sealed actually just over the road, and it was sealed in an outhouse years ago, and I think work went to be done in the house, and it was actually the priest Father Rice at the time, I'm pretty sure, said same thing, don't destroy the bottle, and he kept the bottle at home in a drawer.
Mhm. I think it's like a
Well, I think you have to
common thing, like.
keep them things. Because you know, like the what do you call the two husband and wife paranormal investigators, Ed
Ed
and
and
Warren. Well, obviously they had the room, which
Oh, yeah,
you know,
they
the room
kept all
from
the
the film
stuff.
where they kept all the stuff. They kept the doll and stuff, and like, it was creepy enough, you know.
You know, like it makes sense. Like it's like kind of
But like that's
capturing
like
genie in a bottle, like that. All that stuff that comes
that's
from
like a
somewhere.
story from Blaney then about the
Oh yeah, tell that. Have you got that one?
yeah. Well, it was just that there was a Protestant woman used to live in our house up in Blaney, in the parish of Mucknow, and she passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and another family had moved into her house,
Mhm.
but the woman that had died, she was known as Bailey. She came back to her chair was left in the house, and she came back to the chair every night and was apparently terrorizing the family real bad.
Yeah.
That it got that bad they had to get in contact with the church and get priests out, and apparently they locked her in a bottle but took it to
What do you
Muck,
mean?
like trapped her spirit in the bottle.
I thought you meant. I thought you meant the girl. Like, what do you mean?
Finger in the bottle.
They trapped
Straight up.
the spirit in the bottle, but then the priest has took it to Mucknow Lake and threw it into the
Oh,
lake.
why would you do that?
You know.
Like,
And
that is
the bottle is apparently still there to this day.
Okay, I used to work in Castleblaney,
Mhm.
right, and it's actually a lock.
Mhm.
Don't mean to correct you. Do you know what I mean? It is a lock, okay? And Blaney's a scary place. It is quite
Yeah.
old as well, you know. And
Yeah.
that lock, if he threw that bottle in there, like, I'm never going out in that lock ever again.
I've heard quite a few
Mm-hmm.
stories coming from the Castle Blaney direction, and actually Deal Byrne, one of our listeners, got in contact with us during the week to tell
Mm-hmm.
us about stories from there. He has a story that I will tell just a little bit later about a house that he used to live in just down the road, like literally a stone's throw down the road.
Yeah.
I'll tell that story in just a bit, but he was saying as well that Hope Castle is reportedly like rife with ghost
Yeah.
sightings and
Big time.
paranormal
I've heard
incidents
that.
and things.
It was burnt down as well by two girls that escaped from a crazy house, I think.
Really?
And they came and burnt it down. That's
I never
how
heard
that's
that
how it's
part
burnt.
about
it. Wow.
That is true. I can.
I know it was burnt,
confess
but I
that.
thought maybe it was like an insurance job or something. Maybe?
Well, if they said it was two crazy girls out of a crazy house, you know, like it could have been anybody. It probably
Very
was a
good
few boys from
very
Blaney,
good
like, you know,
church
it's right on the border there.
It's the same as the
The
B&B behind us here in Carna Forest.
Is there?
Haunted as
Didn't know
well,
about that.
It was burnt down
Was it?
and destroyed. Apparently, it was.
Yeah, you see now, I would look into that like a house in the middle of the forest, you know, Hansel and Gretel, like it's just crazy, like there's a witch there or something.
Yeah,
There definitely is.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of them. I have another story here about the
Back to Green Lady, really, like we're talking about that and sort of went on the wee
Yeah.
tangent again.
Well, what about Arma's Demon House?
Oh, I haven't heard this.
Yeah.
Flicker Street again.
Guess where you're going.
Better not be Russell. It better not be Russell Street.
Uh,
Don't live in Russell Street, by the way. It's not number 6.
Don't worry, we'll bleep that out.
Yeah, bleep that out, Chris.
Not gonna happen.
Chris doesn't add it. Anybody.
This
says he
week
has
we're
it.
joined by Gavin Ed Bray.
Gavin, yeah.
Don't worry,
Gavin.
they won't find him because we didn't give his full surname.
No.
Yeah, oh,
So you're
Yeah.
safe.
yeah.
I mean, Anne.
Sharon Clark describes Sharon Clark.
I mean, I know Sharon Clark from Armagh.
Well, this is on.
Is this her age, no?
No. It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
But she describes her first-hand account of a disturbing paranormal haunting that terrorised an Armagh family in Northern Ireland. In the years of paranormal investigating, there is always one or two cases that stand out as unnerving and unfortunately sometimes downright disturbing. The events that I am going to share with you are 100% genuine and were experienced not only by myself, a healthy, open-minded skeptic, but also by others who got involved along the way. I should state that this has come from this is like from her account. This is firsthand.
I thought you were talking
No,
about yourself
no,
again,
I'm
right?
not a skeptic.
Yeah.
No. It all began with a correspondence to myself via email, as many house cases do. A woman called Sharon had contacted me, relating stories of extreme paranormal activity, the kind of events that might have been deemed Hollywood-worthy, tales of furniture moving, manifestations happening, her child being pinned to the bed during the day. I have to admit my immediate reaction was one of disbelief, as I didn't believe such negative energy could possibly be occurring in a 3-story house in Armagh. But I provide a service as well as promoting paranormal research and investigations.
There's not many 3-story houses in Armagh, by the way.
No?
No. I know.
We're narrowing it down.
Yeah, I can narrow it down
Mhm.
to 3 places.
I like to think I have helped a few families along
Russell
the way.
Street. Sorry, go on.
Even if that only means showing them the hole in the roof caused the draft that causes the door to close unexpectedly, or finding out there's mice in the floorboards causing scratching. A person's home should be a place of peace, of security, somewhere that we go when the world feels tough. So if a person or family feels afraid in their home, where then do they go for security? So I phoned Sharon to see what I could do to help. She told me that she had phoned a local paranormal team, but things were getting worse since they had come down and she didn't know what to do. She was frightened as it was communicating directly with her child and whispering Sharon's own name at night. The tone and urgency in her voice sent chills through me, and as a mother, I definitely wanted to assist in any way I could, even if it just meant a trip down to chat and reassure. I was pregnant at the time, so I decided to take another person with me. Plus, in cases like this, a good investigator should bring another person. Why? For validation.
Mm-hmm.
I took down notes of all the events Sharon had relayed to me. Lights dimming, doors opening and closing, mist manifesting in her room. But more horrifying was that her 6-year-old son was heard talking to a non-existent person called Mick
Nope.
in his room.
Bullshit. No way.
This sounds like a story that I have
I wouldn't
heard
go in that
before.
house. I wouldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere near that house.
It sounds like a story I've heard, but the names are different, and I'm starting to think, is it the story I've heard? And
The names are just
the
different.
names are different.
Yeah.
They couldn't give them out.
Her son had told her when they just moved in that Mick was really cross someone had cut the tree down in the garden. Mick was coming across to the child as quite chatty and non-aggressive. Sharon then went on to the most incredible part of her accounts. She told me that when she went into her 3-year-old daughter's room, as there was crying, she found her upside down and pinned to the bed. And Sharon tried to move her, but couldn't. She said she was beyond terrified at this point.
You would be like?
Yeah.
And just leave.
So things are really
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, what do you do?
I'm out of here.
Yeah, you do think about it. Maybe.
Things are escalating quickly here. With an open mind, I
That's
organised with Sharon to go and have a look around her house with my colleague and see if we could find anything more about the house, even to look in the area or dig up a history. Sharon didn't want to be there at this point, as she was staying most nights in a different house, as it was too much to live with. I will admit I'm generally quite open to going into any case, but some part of me believed this lady. I felt that she was telling the truth. Maybe it's a case of experience, being to so many investigations, you get a feel for true cases. Maybe it's my background in mental health, or maybe it was something else. So we started our journey armed only with a digital recorder and a camera and some very detailed directions. We arrived in Armagh. Sharon had left us a key, and so we went round the back, acquired the key, and opened the door. I don't care how wacky this sounds, but as soon as we opened that back door, I could feel exactly what we had walked into. Evil. Evil, negative energy. Call it what you like, but evil was there, watching us and circling us. It was daylight still, and my very core being was crying out for me to run, get out. But I shrugged it off and tried to convince myself it was suggestive fears and my imagination going into overload. So at this point, I'm already thinking, like, you got to get this.
You gotta trust your gut, like.
Yeah.
That's
Now, this
really just
woman,
leave.
But you do second guess yourself. You think, no, this is real. This is fake. You know,
It sounds like this
not-
is kind of like her semi-job as well, is to
Yeah.
go into these places. Like,
So is this the? You're speaking this As the priest, are you?
As the reporter,
the reporter.
this lady who went to the house to investigate. These are her words, and she has said at the start that she's quite an open-minded skeptic. I think she called herself. You know, she has to be, I guess, whenever she's going to so many houses, so many cases, and she kind of tries to dismiss as many of them as possible, just being from
finds the logical explanation.
Exactly. Yeah. As in any investigation, we decided to photograph every room and take recordings, go over those and see if anything we found came back from more extensive investigation. We locked the back door and walked into the kitchen. The kitchen led into the dining room and the atmosphere just felt awful. How I would describe it would be like an experience of bullying. If anyone has been bullied, then they know what I'm talking about. That moment when you approach a group who may have isolated you at school or work and you get that feeling of contempt and unwant, you feel small and exposed. Well, that's exactly how I felt. To be honest, I felt like crying and I felt very alone. I turned to my colleague and had a jest about something, desperately trying to instigate positive feelings around us. As we walked into the dining room, I noticed to my right a table with a planchette and a pencil in it and some blank pages. Evidence that a team had been in but hadn't used it. We moved through the hall, which is where the stairs started, and that's where the noises started. Repetitive banging. Bang, bang, bang. Over and over. Now I knew we had to go up those stairs, and trust me, I really at this point didn't want to, but it's like entering the ocean. You can either step in slowly and let the coldness creep up slowly and painfully, or you can just jump in and get it over with quickly. I opted for jumping in, so I walked up the stairs with a grim determination. I turned into a child's room, a very pretty room, and at the fireplace stood a wooden rocking horse, still rocking.
Don't want to see, you know.
My thoughts were maybe someone is in the house with us, but I knew we were alone. Well, we were the only two human presences in that building. There were 3 floors in this house, typical architecture of a Georgian house, and it's hard to explain, but each floor felt like a completely different house or different energies. As I made my way to the next floor, I looked at the wall and saw what looked like water trickling down. Of course, I thought, aura migraine. But I looked at my colleague's face and she was looking at the same spot open-mouthed. She too could see it, and as far as I'm aware, aura migraine is definitely not contagious.
What the fuck is aura migraine?
I think aura migraine is like when you... Well, aura is like presence, isn't it? Like feeling like presence.
Is it when you both see the same thing and it's not there?
I don't know. I have a feeling like the way she's describing this is like aura migraine is like...
She thought it was like her own head was seeing something?
Yeah, or she's seen too much of something, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh
right,
God,
okay.
you know.
Yeah.
But when someone else sees it, then that is kind of...
Yeah, it's not just in my head.
You
It's...
set this up pretty good, this story, like.
Yeah.
I see you say Russell Street, though.
I walked into the master bedroom and I knew this presence was upon me. I have no shame in saying I prayed, and I prayed hard. As I took photos of the bedroom, each photo threw back blood stains on the carpet, yet there were no stains visible to the human eye.
Six.
Of course, being pregnant at the time, I also felt incredibly afraid if it was great timing that I needed to use the bathroom. I thought it was all calming down until I walked out of the bathroom to regroup downstairs and the door slammed shut on its own.
Oh, no.
As I made my way down, I heard a scraping sound like something being dragged across the floor. My colleague was waiting for me on the second floor as she didn't want to go down on her own. We made our way downstairs to the bottom floor of the main living room, and the sofa had been moved to a 90-degree angle. It was getting a bit too much as I could feel a weird fog falling over my thinking. I went into the dining room and pulled out a prayer card I carry, and I said this prayer out loud. At this point, I got clarity. We needed to leave, and leave now. So we gathered up our things and we left the house. I went home and I wrote up my notes. The next day, Sharon phoned me and asked me, did you guys use the planchette? I responded very quickly that no, we did not touch anything. She seemed shocked and said that she had gone back the next morning and all the pages were written on the same room I recited the prayer in. I assured her I would contact the relevant people to help if help was indeed what she wanted. She assured me that it was. That evening I got in touch with various people, researchers, demonologists, etc. What annoyed me the most? What annoyed me most was most wanted an investigation, not to get rid of whatever was there. But one demonologist said he would travel there and clear the house. He asked me to accompany him, but due to the pregnancy, I declined. I said I would keep in touch all night via phone, etc. And he as he stayed the night and performed the rituals.
Jeez.
I might have as
Brutal.
well went, for I had one of the most frightening nights. I awoke at some point and saw something dark in my room.
No.
Dark and threatening. I prayed and closed my eyes, but I could still see it. So I got angry, very angry. How dare this thing turn up in my home? So I got up and did my own cleansing. Thankfully, the rest of the night was uneventful. Next day, talking to the demonologist, he stated that small handprints had appeared upside down in the mirrors and that he saw red eyes appear, but hopefully it was gone.
Hopefully.
Sharon went back to the house, and for a few days it appeared to be quiet, but things started happening again, so I offered for her to have a priest come in. But by this stage, she had moved out, and things were normalizing for her and her kids in the new house. So the house is still there, but to my knowledge, it has been sold. This may not be the end of the story. I recently spoke to Sharon, and more than a year later, her daughter, aged 12, penned this poem, which she sent me. As me and my family walked through the door, my dog started to shake, which I couldn't ignore. We looked around and started to unpack, but we woke up something that would later attack. As we settled in, the noises were being heard, things being tossed around. I started to get scared. Thump, thud with the noises on the stairs, movement on the floor like dragging of chairs. Lights turned on and off on their own. These freaky goings on chilled me to the bone. Strange markings on the windows, upside down handprints, disturbances that made me wince. Stones thrown at Granny, even pizza in fact, and the table once moved where we all sat. My little brother talked with a friend called Mick. The fact he wasn't real made me feel sick. Nights proved more chilling. It was now their time. The smoke alarms around 3 beginning to chime. Phones were messed up, messages delivered, the strangest things. We even got help to perform house blessings.
Are you still reading the poem?
That is the end of the
that's
poem.
yeah, she was going really well, and then the end doesn't make sense, does it?
She got interrupted before she finished.
Yeah, well, that,
By something.
it was beginning to chime. We even got help performing house blessings. That is literally the end of this lady's account.
Oh no,
I know.
that's weird in
Why
itself,
did-
though, isn't it?
Why
She
is
tried
it?
to finish on a weird poem.
Maybe the weird poem, but I mean the poem didn't finish too well.
No, it was a kid who read it though. I mean, I'm not gonna be too critical.
But
So basically, the
I mean,
end-
I wouldn't have went with that kind of rhyming pattern anyway.
so basically, to reiterate, to go back, the lady moved out and her kids moved out. Things began to normalize for her and the kids in the new house. The house is still there, but to her knowledge, has been sold since.
Do you know the real story? Do you know where the real house is? Don't say it though, but do you know?
No.
No.
Do you?
I think of an idea, but I don't think the house is a 3-story house. I'm actually going to ask my dad tonight.
I think I might live there, man.
I do live close to the house that I'm thinking of.
Could be
Like.
mine.
It's your 3-story, yeah?
It is a 3
I
stories,
mean,
yeah.
oh, that's not
Yeah.
really right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
No,
it's so
no.
crazy, that story. Like.
It's weird things, isn't
And
it?
it's local as well, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Who
I can
was... Sorry,
Go on.
who was the reporter woman of that?
Sharon Clark.
Oh, so Sean Clark was the name of the reporter, not the name of the girl that owned the house?
Yep.
Right, okay. It doesn't give the names of the house.
The people in the house. No.
I have Sharon Clark. SpookyIsles.com.
That's it.
Yeah, I have another one from her.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. She did
For,
more.
she did. She came back for
This girl.
Karma. I know she's from
Get her
here,
on the
what?
podcast.
Yeah.
Fucking should.
You know what I mean?
That'd be
These are
great,
leading the way of podcasts in Armagh. Like, you know, you just
True.
need to-
In the north.
We are
in the north.
These are
podcast.
these have got the blueprints.
Well, as we also we're the biggest podcast in the greater Darnus area.
Yeah. And we're also big in Armenia.
Still?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't go away. Like
I mean-
Armenians love us.
That story though,
It's
Like-
weird. Like,
we need to talk about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
like
I mean,
the poem. Like
okay.
you can understand where the kid maybe got the poem from. It was just heard over the years. Her family maybe on the phone. It was like chairs coming across the
Yeah.
room, and that's been in her
Yeah,
brain.
true,
so
true.
I think that there's a reason for that. But like all the other stuff, it's like,
Imagine that poem was wrote in that pad that was filled.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
what
no
the
one
fuck
wrote.
was that
Yeah.
about?
yeah. I
Yeah.
know. But
What did it say?
also, she said as well that she contacted local investigators. Who the hell are the local investigators in Armagh?
I would love
Jim
to
there
know.
up the road.
Oh, Jim up the road. eh?
I'd say it was just priests. Like
There
you
are.
know,
There
how-
is like
He's
a
the
Northern Ireland
Yeah.
paranormal
Demonologist or
investigation.
whatever.
Yeah.
He's a brave soul for staying in the house by himself.
The demonologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what she done though. She stood up to it. She showed it wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
And she got on with her night because you watch all these films. They live off fear.
Fear.
You know, they live off you. You know,
Fuck
they
that,
eat on
like.
it. They start off tapping a window,
Yeah.
and that's it. And then you realize that maybe the next week they're moving stuff, and then they're appearing, and then the other one, they're feeding off your fear.
Yeah.
Once you get the notion in your head, though, that's like your own
doesn't
worst.
That's
enemy.
it. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's
You would
tap
escalate
on the
that,
window,
yeah.
and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, it's funny. This happened last night. It was real windy. Like we had the window open in
It
bed.
was really windy
Are
last
you
night.
gonna freak me out or something?
Not really. Like it's just kind of like we're watching some fucking random thing on YouTube, and it mentioned the word ghost, and literally like 3 seconds later, our door just blew open,
Yeah.
but not like hum open, like kind of like as if it was being pushed. And like I honestly got looked, I was expecting my mummy or someone to be there opening the door. Obviously, it wasn't. It took me like 3 seconds to register. Like super windy outside, the window's open, and there's a wee gap when the door came in and just blew it open. That's all that happened. I'll just close it and we're fine. But it's type of shit like that there. If you were
Vegan is it? Vegan approach. This guy, like this guy.
good speech,
They are nice though.
that type of shit, like if you have the wrong frame of mind and something like that happens,
Exactly.
you're just gonna be like
You're gonna send it to like
Exactly.
to like
Next level.
level 10. Yeah.
make it far worse than yourself. But shit like that,
Like
like
she got over it because of her frame of mind, you know.
Mhm.
exactly.
Well,
Not
Which
everyone
makes
has
you
that
think,
frame
you
of
know,
mind.
she does. She works.
That's
with this shit,
her
like,
job.
So it's
Oh.
kind of exposure. She's used to it. There was that woman who lived in the house, like
I've mentioned it
Just
before.
can't do that,
I've
like.
mentioned it before on this podcast, but briefly. But there's a house up
Can I have
behind
one of
it.
these?
Oh yeah, work away if you want that monster. There's a house up behind our grandmother's house up in the Killygola Road, up towards Castleblaney. And you've seen the house, Dave.
Oh yeah.
And it is the family that used to live in it started experiencing weird kind of paranormal stuff, furniture being moved around. They actually heard chains being dragged across the floor upstairs at night.
So scary.
The boys who lived in the house, and I say the boys, they were probably like our age at the time, felt like a presence sitting on the bed next to them at night.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same house that the furniture and stuff moved around?
Yeah,
in?
yeah.
And got stacked and
Mm-hmm.
placed all over through around the
The
place?
furniture was like stacked in the kitchen
Yeah.
when they came down. It got to the point where the father was shaving one day, and he said he seen eyes in the mirror looking back at him, and they knew that they had to get out of the house. Now, at the time, this family were building another house. I should say this family they're an English family. Well, half English anyway, I think. They were building another house, and they asked for the local priest, who would have been Father Flanagan, I think, at the time, to come up and bless the house. Now, he told this story at like a get together at like my grandmother's house a couple of years later, when somebody asked him about the house, about his experience with it, and at first he just said, like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, he was shook to the core. And then he said that he had been...
Somebody asked a priest, like at a bit of a get together at your granny's house or something?
Yeah.
Cool.
And
What about that exorcist?
yeah, well, that's it. Like, you gotta
You gotta get
I don't really
that.
see priests that much. You don't know what they're talking
But
about.
once like the alcohol is flowing, people are just going to start
Yeah.
asking questions.
And they drink too, don't they?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Probably.
wine.
Well, they
Yeah,
asked him, what did he experience, and he said that he was spat on walking up the lane.
Wow.
Something spat at him walking
There
up
you
the lane.
go.
He said when he threw the holy water, there was water thrown back at him in the house.
Do you know what? That is so fucking freaky though.
Why?
Because you imagine like, you can say a prayer, you can do a cleansing or a
Mhm.
cross or holy water will like drive the evil away,
Yeah.
and they just like
Yeah.
No,
fucking
yeah.
it back.
does nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Like,
get out.
haha, priest,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, it's like you got nothing to do.
Run along.
You can't
Well,
do anything.
eventually the family, I think they moved out before the house was complete. Their new house was complete. And then I'm not sure if it was them or someone else did a bit of research into like the area around. It turns out that the old railroad track used to run that runs through Carna Forest used to run the whole way up, run up the back of their house. And
I didn't know
there was a British soldier who was killed by, I'm not sure if it was like Irish like guerrilla or what, but he was killed on the railroad quite close to the home. Now people started putting two and two together, being like, well, that's the spirit there, that's who it is. But nobody knows. But all I know is that house has been sold since, and the people who moved into it moved straight back out of it, and it's now all just completely boarded up and sitting there.
You just know by looking at it what
That is.
that
Well, why don't you just go there?
Yeah, it's out.
It's on the list.
Like, why don't we go there like now?
That's like the oldest we do the podcast was like
like from here to like just beyond that house away.
yeah, like
from it.
what about maybe 100, 200 meters?
Yeah.
something like that.
It's
It was
just
close,
up
I
the
think.
lane.
on the back
Close.
field, like, yeah.
So we
don't
were
like
basically
that.
were there. I don't think we need to go back. I think we need to
No,
go
I
back.
think we need to
We're
go on
fine.
here.
Like if the priest walked up the lane and got spat on,
Yeah.
like
Do you know what
You ain't
was-
gonna get close to the house.
You know one of the scariest stories that you have told, right?
Yeah.
You've told a lot, but see the one there you told last week or a couple of weeks ago about camping, and the woman just walking
Oh, yeah,
past.
yeah,
And
yeah.
but you know what the weird thing is? The dog didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Now that's weird.
Because a dog's an animal and it
But
doesn't know any
you've done
different.
exactly what every group of teenage guys do. You just went, you just gone. No, you didn't like. You sort of put it across like you didn't speak to each other. It's just like you all just agreed, looked
Yeah,
at
just
each other,
we're
and
just
just
gonna
went,
go.
yeah, we need to go now.
We didn't talk about it then until we got back to our friend's house and we were just like, guys, that was fucking weird. Like, what
Yeah.
happened there, you know? But yeah, over the years, like, we've seen some weird shit. Like, there's been some weird stories. I actually tell a story just down the road from here, like, just beyond, like, where you see the road stretch out. Dale Byrne, a friend of ours from school, used to live in a house. And he actually got in contact with us. Now,
Can you believe it?
he didn't live in the ditch. But Dale got in touch and said that he woke one night. Now, I'm not going to bring the story up, so forgive me, Dale, if I tell like part of this, but the gist is there. He woke one night basically to see a face looking through the window at him at the house. And he says the only way he can describe it was the face was burnt.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay. Now, what makes this story weird,
I know this is going.
his face was completely burnt, is a couple of weeks later, Dale's house burnt down.
Wow. Oh, oh my god.
I
Like,
just got
no,
goosebumps,
no,
like-
no,
Yeah.
this is what I came here for. Right?
Yeah.
That's a time traveler.
You think?
What?
Yeah.
You think?
think was that a
And he got
warning for
burned.
I
him
think
to
it
get
was a
out of
time.
the house?
Yeah,
Burning the house.
I think.
And
Yeah.
firstly, thank you so much, Dale, for getting in touch with that story and
That
let
was
me
class,
use
though.
that story
Yeah.
and telling it. But like that's some weird shit, boys. Like,
That is really weird.
you know?
House burnt down. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I think was that a sign for him to like get out
I
of the
think so.
house?
I think
Maybe.
so. I think.
Or was
I-
They
that,
were away, though, weren't they?
Yeah, they were away when it
Yeah,
happened. They weren't
that
in
was-
the house. Thankfully, they weren't. In the
or
house,
was that
you know?
something bad that burnt the house down?
Yeah, like we're going to burn the house
Yeah.
down.
But even the way you can see a face looking through your fucking
That's
window.
Yeah.
that
And
is
to
one of the
make
most
it-
scariest things that
Yeah.
you could see is a face because it'll freeze you if you look up and see a face that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're,
Yeah.
no, you're not running.
Just did it to me.
No, if we all look out that window now and see a face standing there,
Yeah.
all of us would trip over, fall behind
Yeah.
it, fall down the
Just be pushed
stairs.
down
Yeah.
and we get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what made it worse, he knew it was burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
there was something wrong with his face. Like,
It was
it's not
disfigured,
just a face. That's what. Yeah, that's even worse. Like,
That's crazy.
isn't it?
That's crazy.
that is bizarre. Like,
Don't like that.
No.
no.
Um,
Face is. You're right. The face is the scariest.
Face
thing, like.
and I think as well, like, just not knowing something. See the sea. The sea. I've told you this before. The sea is a scary place because
Oh,
you
yeah.
just don't know what's in it.
yeah, because
There's bound to be shit in there. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like even Loch Mucknow and Blaney there. Like it's massive. So
I remember
there's bound to
hearing-
be stuff in it.
I remember
Bottles.
hearing
So that bottle's
Bottles
floating around in it
with,
somewhere.
spirits in it.
that there was a building
I see.
under Loch Mucknow. That there was a building underneath Loch Mucknow.
Well, there's whenever the water goes down low enough, it did one summer whenever I worked at the golf course.
Right.
From like the fourth green, there's like a wee island, maybe 100 yards just out from it, out on the loch, and the water went down low enough. They actually seen a path to the island, a man-made stone path.
Wow.
That was once. So when the water got low enough, you could
So
walk
it
out.
used to be used
So,
as
so
something
we could see it from the
there.
club. I could see it from the pro shop one summer. It was really dry, and you could see it. You're like, what the hell is this? Like,
That happened in a place in Scotland as well.
It's
Yeah.
a bit creepy.
Yeah,
that.
It is a
this
bit creepy,
ancient
yeah.
road, like maybe Roman house or maybe not as old as that, but old road that they just didn't know it was under. It was in
Yeah.
the loch. Water went away, and there was this road
Yeah.
that cut like a massive portion of the loch out.
there's bound to be stuff like that in Armagh. Look at old Armaghs, you know, and around the palace stables
Ar-
there, and all those
Armagh's-
buildings.
Armagh's,
Like the
like,
Navan
riddled
Fort.
with
I heard the
paranormal.
Navan Fort is bad for it. Like.
Is it? Yeah.
The Old
Like-
Moy Road as well. It's meant to be really. You know where
Navan
Drumsill
Fort
was?
is literally like a fucking like a spiritual.
I've never been.
That's the
Realm.
realm of it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've never been.
No. The Navan Fort?
Yeah.
No.
I've only been once, and it was at night.
Oh, Jesus.
Actually,
That's even better.
That sounds class.
I took you to Navan Fort at night.
Spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment decision, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Navan, or Armagh as a whole, like, it's the home of Christianity.
It
you
is.
know,
It's
when you
the
start in Ireland-
ecclesiastical capital of Ireland.
There you go.
guys, which is.
That's
you know,
just
I don't know
facts.
if you
Can't
knew
argue
that,
with
but
There you go.
I'm
Dropping
sure Dean
fact
knows.
bombs all
Dean
over
knows a
here.
lot of stuff.
Dean knows a lot of
He
stuff.
does.
Do know a bit about that. And learn a lot about
I do.
that.
You do religion?
No, I did. What did I do? History, but it was like
Oh,
early Irish Christian history
very good.
because there's no history in Ireland before like Christianity because
Aye.
they'd never wrote nothing down.
Yeah.
Wrote nothing down. So Armagh is like step one in
I
that.
remember actually I watched that show on Netflix about St. Patrick. You didn't see it, no?
No.
Something shot in Armagh. It's pretty. Sorry, like it was not good, but you know, boring afterwards.
Well, another story actually is it's just a weird kind of one. The mum told us was years ago there was it was known like where they lived that there used to be like a homeless man who used to live like just wander about and just live in like sheds and stuff.
Oh, right, yeah.
And one night she says that Granny was putting them to bed. So it'd be her mother, our grandmother. I'm speaking of here, was putting them to bed, and she was closing the blinds, and she played it calm. But she says that there was just a man standing in the garden looking through the window back into the house.
No, that's what's
And
scary.
she said she had to play it super calm, but she just dropped the blinds, and then she told my granda about it, who went out.
You never go out.
That was fine, but then it happened again a couple of days later. They were both in bed. My granny and granda were in bed, and she looked out at the window, and she says she just seen a face peeking in like this through the window, and she said to my granda, she said, "No, there's someone there. Go and phone the police, do this, or go and phone the guards, do this, you know, but you don't spook it, don't just get up and, you know, go about a thing." He phoned the guards, and they came out, and they found like an old pipe just lying outside the house that obviously this person had been fucking carrying.
A pipe bomb or something?
No,
just like a
smoking pipe.
Oh, a pipe?
No, like a
Oh,
pipe,
right.
like
a metal pipe.
like a bat.
Yeah, a pipe's not there.
Sorry, yeah, like a piece
I
of
love
metal.
how we both had completely different interpretations of that.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
It was
a
just
bat.
a pipe.
There was a metal bat. Oh, you mean a pipe?
Like an inanimate metal rod.
There you go. That's it. That was just
A
sitting.
baton.
Yeah, a baton.
No, but that batten's like a police baton.
Yeah, you're right there. What do you call the things in the relay races that they give
Guys,
each other?
guys,
That's a
guys. Stranger in the window, okay?
Yeah, it's meant to be a scary podcast. We're talking about relay races.
I don't know.
That can
But
be
yeah,
pretty
someone looking
scary.
through the window, like that's a fucking weird story.
It can be scary. There's a crossover where there's you drop that bot. Like,
It's weirder when it's human beings, you know, like creepy fucking shit.
Because you don't know what they're capable of.
No.
Well, you do know because you are human, so you know what
yeah,
they're capable of.
the most scary stories for me are the demon stuff is crazy, but you see actually the stuff of killers like that, that have happened. You know, like
The audacity of them.
Jack the Ripper and stuff like that. Like it's for me,
Yeah.
it is the scariest because
Yeah,
these people are crazy. Man.
Fucker should like walk into your house and like
Just
do
chop
stuff
you up.
in it and then just leave. Like
That film that you recommended there a couple of weeks back about the girl who couldn't, she was deaf, was she?
Hush.
It was good.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
recommend
good?
that to you as well.
I know,
I think.
yeah.
It was tense. Like
It's-
you were sort of tense watching, and you were
Yeah,
screaming.
I'll
At
watch it.
you were
I'll watch it
screaming. It's
today.
one of the ones where you scream at the TV.
I
going,
screamed at the TV
and
at
she was
once,
smart though. She was good. I thought she was good in it.
but she's deaf, so she can't hear anything.
She can't
Like,
hear
just listen.
Yeah.
But another,
You sort of watch it thinking, right, well, you put yourself in the scenario of not being able to hear.
oh yeah,
And like, so the guy can come up, the guy like, oh, well, should we talk? Should we?
Is the movie real quiet, like A Quiet Place? I got there because she can't hear.
No,
normal
we hear
noises,
stuff,
but
and
she
sometimes
just
we don't.
can't.
I'll watch it today.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing then, but there's some very tense,
No, yeah.
creepy stuff in it. It's good.
Then there was like when our dad says something,
Yeah.
you listen.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm the same.
Like you don't. You
Yeah,
know,
my dad talks shit. like,
Don't
you know,
get-
if he watches this, Dad, you do talk shit.
don't get me wrong. Like dad will talk shit as well.
Yeah.
But you know when he's serious and he says something, like you know,
Yeah.
you just
You know
believe
it's-
it, you know.
yeah.
Like,
He gets serious, and then you know, okay, whatever he's about to say
but
next year.
he told us that night that we lived in our old house that he was sure as shit that something was outside the bedroom window.
Was it a bit late?
Yeah, he said he
Yeah.
woke with a light shining through the window.
Yeah, that's
and he
weird.
said he didn't know what it was from. He says now he thought it was a dream, but he said he woke with this light shining through the window and he got out of bed and he walked towards the bed. He walked towards the window, and he said he was screaming, like proper screaming at this light, saying, "You're gonna waken them. You're gonna waken the people in the house." Like proper going at them. And he said this light was there, and he said he doesn't remember it. He doesn't remember anything else about it. He just said the next thing he knows, he woke up and he was back in bed. But he said his throat was like
Hoarse.
was gone. He thought it was a weird dream, and he was going to work the next day. And he was talking to our uncle, his brother, who's a big, like, has always been into like supernatural, paranormal. And he told him of what happened in this light, and his brother just looked at him and said, "You know, that's a sign when you've been returned from like alien abductions. That is like the sign. That's what happens. Like
Yeah.
when they leave you back." And he was like, no. And then the more like, he spoke about it, and he said when he was younger, like him, his sister, and his brother all have come into contact with a large orange ball at one point around their home house that just was there, just manifested there in the sky. He said he just followed it,
Floating.
floating.
Crazy.
Floating too.
You ever see a scary films where like a fly gets into the person's mouth or something and becomes possessed. There's a massive blue bottle just thrown into this room.
right, yeah,
it's at the corner of Woody.
Yeah,
you see
see
Woody?
it,
Like, he is a big
yeah.
boy there. Like,
Yeah.
and that could be a demon. Like, it could
Just
be.
picking up what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certain things that like when someone starts speaking, like you listen, and that was
Yeah.
one of the things I've always believed.
And they give you the real goosebumps, don't they? as well?
Yeah,
'Cause you know,
yeah.
that, you know that.
It was like, remember the time he went down in Rowan Road and he said he seen Granda sitting at the table
Yeah,
and there was no one there.
yeah. He seen his dead father just sitting at the table, and he said he just.
It's
But he
mad.
said the
He
thing
looked
like-
at him first and then he asked him what he was doing here. And whenever he turned back around and looked at him, he wasn't there.
He said he walked in and his father was sitting like with his back facing to him, and he walked over to the. I think he must have been getting a drink or something. And he said, you know, Dad said he was kind of almost angry at him. He was like, you know, what are you doing here?
Oh yeah.
And,
Was he dreaming here? What was this?
No,
This
he
is all
walked down.
happened
He
real
said,
time?
he's seen it, and he said that our granddad turned around to him and just said, you know, everything's going to be okay. And Dad went, yeah, I know, and turned off the light and went back to bed. He said he never seen Granda since. Like,
Fuck.
That's
but-
mad.
it's weird as well. Our brother, our younger brother. Now this is evident. Like
This gives me.
Didn't know
this always gives me. Huh?
I didn't know you said young. I thought you were the baby of the house.
There's
No.
2 younger.
Oh, is there?
There's 3 younger than me.
three.
Got confused there.
He went for a serious operation on his neck a couple of years ago. He had like a gland that he needed to get removed, and he said they'd taken him down to the hospital, and he was lifted him out of the car to go into the hospital.
Can I stop you there first?
Yeah.
Before that, do you remember like the night before the operation? Me and him used to share the downstairs room,
Yeah.
and the other way he used to like get up and walk up to Mummy and Daddy's room.
Yeah.
He got up and was halfway up the stairs, and obviously Mummy then could hear him.
Yeah.
And he stopped on the stairs, turned and walked back and got into bed.
Yeah.
And they asked him the next day what happened, and
Yeah.
he said the man in the suit took
Oh.
me back to bed.
Yeah.
I'm sweating here.
What?
And Michael had never seen.
Fucking hell.
now, Michael-
I have heard the second part of this story
Yeah.
before, but I've never heard that before.
Now, Michael would never have seen our grandfather whatsoever, like ever, like apart from maybe like a single picture that we have him in our house. Now he got out of the car, going to the hospital, and pointed up at a window
Mm-hmm.
and goes, like, you know, Mummy and Daddy were saying to him, you know, don't be scared, you know, it's gonna be
Mhm.
fine, we're going in. And he said, no, I'm not. He goes, we're going up there. And they're like, oh, okay, you're going up there. He goes, yeah, the man already showed me where I'm going.
What?
And Mum and Dad were like, oh,
Is this your wee brother?
yeah. And they were like,
He's not here today, is he? I don't want to see that.
and they were like, okay. He goes, it's okay. The man showed me where they're going. And he said, when Michael went for his operation or whatever and came out, and they were like, he woke up from the anesthesia or whatever, and they questioned him. Not questioned him, but they were like, you know, how was it? And he said, it was fine. The man held my hand the whole way down. He held my hand during the operation, and he said that everything's going to be fine now. And it was around this time that Dad also seen Granda at the table.
That's nice, so.
It's
It's
a
a-
nice
that's a nice
story,
story,
but it's
that's-
weird.
it's
It's
weird,
weird,
like,
it's
but
weird as shit.
That's nice. I like them stories. I thought it was going to be scary, but it's nice.
Yeah, it
was scary.
later
It is
transpired then that Michael was able to point at our Granda
Yeah.
Michael at a picture
Okay,
and,
yeah.
and tell us
Mhm.
that was
That's
the man he
class.
seen in the suit that took him by the hand
Yeah.
down the
And-
stairs.
That's a bit.
And my mum has said several times that in that old house she experienced a lot of weird kind of
Mm-hmm.
get just feelings and stuff. But
So like, yeah, your granddad had already been. He's deceased.
Oh,
before
yeah,
Michael was
yeah.
born.
yeah,
Like,
Granda
I
died
never
when-
even seen him.
yeah,
Oh, right,
he
okay.
died when I was like 3.
right. Okay.
So yeah.
Fucking hell, that's
Yeah,
bad.
it's a weird one, like, but it's a nice kind of thing. But it's just a weird. Anything like that always freaks me out, you know, because I'm like, oh,
Creeps me
There's
out.
very similar one that my mother told me
yes,
a couple of years ago. It was like, whenever my mum was really young, like 21 or maybe 19 or something like that, her and her sister and her cousin were in a car accident, real bad one. And I remember her telling me, like, this is years and years ago. I think this is like the anniversary of the event. Her cousin died in that accident. My mum and her sister were fine. They were okay. And how did it go? I think it was like a couple of weeks later after the funeral. They were all off very close, naturally.
Yeah.
And so pretty shocking up by the death. A couple of weeks later, Mummy had a dream. And she was over, I'm pretty sure it was the cousin, but she was over at like their house or on the road near their house. And she was chatting to her cousin. Just sort of like, you know, whatever, making all this regular talk and, oh, what's it like? Oh, no, it's great. Yeah, and everything's nice and I'm fine and don't worry about me. Just sort of, you know, the type of stuff you always hear the stuff of people.
yeah,
getting over. But she said she noticed this cat lying dead on the road. Like a cat had been run over or something like that, and it was lying dead on the road or whatever. She chatted away and all that was fine. And grand, she woke up the next morning. She was like, okay, that was a weird dream, but kind of expected considering the circumstances. Just a couple of days later, she's over at the home house for whatever reason, going to visit her aunt and uncle or whatever, and there was the cat lying dead on the road, just as she dreamed it.
No way.
That's what she told me. Like, and I was like, what the fuck?
That is weird.
Oh man.
But
holy shit.
yeah,
That is weird. I have a cat. I have a cat story as well. Actually, my granny died like I was 15. It was maybe 15 years ago. And after she was buried, we were in my own house. My dad were all sitting around the table, and this kitten, came out from them. We have a big backyard, and it came out from the bottom of the garden and up to the edge of the house. We're like, that's strange. We never see cats around here, and it was quite small.
Mm-hmm.
But my granny was called Kitty.
right.
She had just died, and
This is cat.
a cat out of nowhere appears.
So that reminds me
And we kept the cat. The cat's been in our
Really?
family ever since.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, that's
So
like
that is, as we saying, it's kind of nice. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
maybe
like
hers, probably not
sentiment
her.
kind of
Like, you
thing.
know.
That reminds you of John Locke.
John Locke's story about the
Yeah.
dog.
Dog.
Yeah. But that's it. Like these
John
things
Locke?
do happen. It's a Lost reference. You ever watched
Oh,
Lost?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
Gavin. I was thinking of John Wick. There's a dog there.
There's
as well,
a
like,
dog
you know,
there too, yeah.
The boogeyman.
You said you once had a story to tell us about the.
Yeah.
You gonna tell that one?
Well, I'm gonna have to tell it now. Like,
yeah,
I'm
you
not
have
gonna.
to. Sorry, I've dropped
It's.
you.
I was thinking about telling this story,
I wanna
and
hear this.
like, I'm not that good at telling stories, so bear with me. Like, but it is about the catacombs in Paris. Do you any of you know about those? Yes, you know about them.
Mhm.
I was basically in Paris, and I can't remember how long ago it was. I'm guessing 4 or 5. I can tell you actually exactly when it was. We were there at the time that. Do you remember the magazine place got shut up?
Oh yeah.
Je suis
Charlie
shot.
Hebdo.
Yeah. It was during that. That was the first day I got in Paris. So the whole place went. I'm crazy. Like the whole place went into lockdown, and it wasn't really nice the first couple of days. But they were there for 4 or 5 days. So the last few, we wanted to do a lot of things and try and make up for it. So we got it all done. I think it was our last day. We said, "Frick it, we'll go to these catacombs here. I want to see a load of skulls and see. It's a burial chamber. If anybody doesn't know, you go right down into the underneath. It's pretty much a city underneath the city of Paris.
It's just they ran out of room for their dead years
Yeah,
ago.
and this place,
There's
like,
millions of bodies.
If you don't know about it, look it up. It's very, very eerie. So it is. I
like-
even get a wee bit scared talking about this now because it is quite freaky, like, so it is. But so I go down there. I was with like an ex-girlfriend of mine at the time, and we go down, and they sort of let you just walk. There's only one way of getting around this place. There's in and there's out, and that's it.
Mhm.
But they let you walk around, and I was walking around, and there's no sort of guides taking you around. You just do it yourself.
Right.
So there's people down there, and I was busting to go to the toilet, like really needed to pee. And whenever I have to pee, like bear in mind we're underneath Paris here. There's no toilets down there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, right, could I run up and get out of here and go to the toilet in the gift shop, because I knew there was a gift shop at the end. I was like, I'm not making it. So I peed.
Just
Now,
in a.
I went round. I did. I sort of the most.
disrespect.
I know this is where you really hear. So I then realised while I'm peeing, this might sound bad, like, but I was peeing.
Think
I
you're
was
past
peeing
this.
over the bones of somebody.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus
I know,
Okay.
but it wasn't like intentionally like going through his eyeball or something. Like it was like just skating. It was
50
skating
points.
off a rock. I know. I didn't miss my way and didn't want to tell the story, but I told you now.
Here you are.
Anyway, right. So got on with the trip into the wee gift shop. I actually bought a couple of coins from it.
Because you felt obliged.
I better buy something here. It was a lovely pay too. One of those ones where they just last forever. I was like, hurry up, there's people coming. But so we'll get out. Now it gets to the scary part. We're walking back to the hotel. We decided there was all like in Paris, lovely bakers and pastries and stuff. So we went into this bakery and got a couple of nice bits of bread and stuff and a couple of nice buns. Took it back to the hotel room. Now, there was work being done in the hotel room at the time, so we actually got an upgrade into like a bigger and a nicer room. There was only maybe 6 or 7 rooms open. It was quite a small hotel, but it was nice. So we got back into the room and put the kettle on to make tea and stuff for the buns and whatever. I seen this bun. It's actually a wee bit like that bun, so it was.
Like a wee cupcake kind of thing?
Yeah, it was about twice the size. It was big, fuck off one, like.
Okay.
And I bit into it. You're probably wondering where this is going. Why is he talking about buns, right? So I bit into it, and as I bite in, I was like, I feel like a bit of porcelain or something hitting my teeth.
Oh no way!
Now
No,
we hear, right? Now this is where it gets freaky, and what the hell? And I pick it out, and there's a small face in my cupcake.
What?
There's a small. This is why I didn't want to tell you when I was cutting your hair, because this is a freaky story. There's a small porcelain face like not a face, like a mask. So it had like, you know, it was shaped like the. Have you ever seen the mask, Jim Carrey? The shape of his mask.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
It was something shaped like that, but it was like a small, thin porcelain. Like I thought it was maybe toy in the cupcake or something. So I said, Max, bite into yours and see what the story is.
You know, see if we win something.
But as soon as I hit that, thinking back on it now, as soon as I bit into it, you know, the feeling in the room changed. Like it completely changed. And I'm not bullshitting here. Like this is the first time I was probably ever scared in my life. Like, and there was no face in her cupcake. She said to me, Gavin, get that out of this room. This shouldn't be here.
What the fuck?
So I opened up the window and threw it out.
You don't even keep it.
Just yeet.
No, I've seen enough scary movies to know you get rid of something like that, right?
Yeah.
So like, I got rid of it, right?
Ended up back in the room.
No, actually, I tell a lie. That is a lie. I got rid of it because I kept it. I didn't really know. We didn't know what it was. Okay.
Right.
It was freaky. So an hour or so went on, and it was late at night at this point, and the kettle in the room kept coming on by itself.
No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it got really weird because at one point I took it off, took it out of the.
Did not.
I took it out of the wall.
You throw
Right?
it out the window
And
too.
it still made noise after it.
Oh.
Like it was bubbling. I'm going, how's this kettle bubbling? It was really weird. And my ex goes, I see that face. I want you to throw it out.
Fucking hell.
So that's when you threw the face.
Now
out?
the light in
Okay.
the light
Okay,
in
okay.
the.
So you still
No,
had.
there's
you
more.
still had
There's
the
more.
cupcake.
There's way more. There's way more. This is only it's nearly over, but
So you. So
the main part of the story.
Let me
is
go
coming.
back a sec.
Yeah,
So
go back.
you bit into the cupcake.
I bit into the
and there's like
cupcake.
a face in
There's
it.
like a portion. It's hard to. Do you know? See that right?
Yeah, but it was
It's
smaller
like
version.
it's just a face. It's a very small size
Do you know
your
what-
thumbnail.
Do you know what I imagine? And like, you know, like them drama.
V for Vendetta kind
You know,
of.
yeah.
Exactly. I know what you're talking about.
You know, like
Yes,
them happy
the-
sad
yeah,
faces.
yeah.
That's exactly what it was, right?
Those are
It
fucking
had a wee
creepy as well.
gold. It had a gold outline around the outside of it,
Jesus.
and it had eyes in the mouth, right?
But you didn't get rid of this before the kettle started coming on.
Well, it looked freaky, but you know, we weren't thinking about.
No,
I
yeah.
wasn't thinking about peeing in the catacombs and everything.
no,
related to it, you know.
I'm not judging or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to understand the timeline.
Okay.
So you keep the cupcake. And then you
I
cut-
had the cupcake.
But
I finished eating the cupcake, right?
Okay.
But the face was there, and I put it there, and like
You
I'm
finished
looking
the
at
whole
it.
thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I still had the cupcake, like it was nice. But so I took the face out, and I had it sitting there, sort of at where you know the
Okay, yeah, I
kettle
get
and all
you. now.
was, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't know what to do. I thought it was maybe a toy, and then she had her bit, and when it wasn't there, I think we were just like, "Where's this come from?" And started to question it almost because there was a bad feeling in the room, right? Much to the point where like she didn't want to stay in the room anymore. She wanted to get a new room, but that couldn't happen because there was only 6 rooms in it, and it was our last night. We were going the next day, so I wasn't booking any more hotels.
I'd sleep down in the lobby.
Yeah.
I did think about it one time, but once I threw it out, right? I threw it out, and things got okay.
Better than, yeah.
The weird part, okay, is whenever that first night we got home, I was actually working. It was a Saturday, and I was working in Conquerwood in Blaney the next day, and got home, got to sleep, and that night I woke up with a very, very painful back, the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Right, very bad, and it continued on into the day of work, and I couldn't even stand up. I remember my back was really sore, and I went to the toilet a few times. I had noticed a small bit of blood in my urine.
Shit, right?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
so at this point I can hardly stand. I'm sitting down against the radiator in the shop. Guys are coming to play golf, and I'm like, I rang my boss going, "Can somebody get in here? I need to go to the hospital. Like this is, I know my body, and I'm not feeling right here." We went to the hospital and said to the girl, "Listen, I'm passing a bit of urine in my blood. I'm passing a bit of passing a bit of
Something's not
blood
right.
in my urine." She says, "Right, well, you know, it sounds a bit strange on it. Like, do you want to go and give me a urine sample?" So I went in and peed into this wee, you know, container. It was pure blood.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
man.
It was pure blood. I actually remember I took a picture. It's in phone from years ago. But this thing, there was no pee in it. It was pure blood,
Shit.
right? And I was in so
Your
much pain,
kidneys now.
right? So we believe that I got cursed or got
Something
something down there
Yeah.
that gave me a urinary tract infection. I wasn't sick leading up to it.
Right enough, because you peed in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
exactly,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Right?
Oh,
That's the-
yeah.
This is why I peed, right? I think some skeleton or some body or something down there has cursed me for doing that, basically, right? And give me the doctor said I had a urinary tract infection.
No
I peed
way.
blood and had to go on antibiotics.
Fucking
I don't know if that's scary, like, but that's
No,
really,
that's just creepy.
that
it's
is
really
fucked,
creepy
like.
happened to me. It's true. It's 100% true. The room that night got really weird.
You
I
get
mean,
the
you ended up
feelings.
getting a
Yeah.
UTI. Holy shit.
I got a UTI. Out of nowhere as well, like, you know.
Piss and blood.
Piss and blood, man. And it was
Fucking hell.
stingy.
Oh,
Like it was sore. It took ages to come out and all. It was like,
Yeah, like passing like fucking.
And the girl, I remember
kidneys
giving
or
it to the nurse, and she was like, "Okay, you need to go and sit down." See, I actually pointed to the chair. She went, "See, you sit down there, and we'll get you some help now." I'm,
that is scary as fuck.
Yeah.
though, like,
But then it's funny. Like 6 months later, I was in the hospital again, and the doctor girl was there. I'm like, "Oh, you're the guy with the urinary tract infection, aren't you?" And I'm going, "Yeah, do you remember that?" And she went, just like something like that.
I remember
You
that.
don't
Like,
forget that.
You don't- and it was crazy, yeah. So that's my.
Jesus, yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Is
Is
it
it a scary story? It's more of a
Yeah, I remember
you know.
a
Good one.
It's because
friend-
it's true.
A friend of ours, his father cut down what's known as a fairy tree,
fairy tree.
and within like a week he had like a acute like kidney failure
Mm-hmm.
and had to get his kidney removed
Wow.
or part of it.
I can. It was still to this day the worst pain of my life. It was the pain in my back.
So I do believe that like things like that can not necessarily curse you, but definitely. Well, people just call it coincidence, I guess.
Listen, I've been through it all. The coincidence thing, you know, was a sick leading up to going to Paris that week.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cold. It was windy. You know, did to go from a change of temperature. It was wrapped up. I mean, did it get sick that way? I went to the Eiffel Tower. I was up there.
Like, Jesus.
You know, that's
Maybe that's why you had to pee so bad when you were in the catacombs, like.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
but I only had to pee once.
Yeah.
Right. It was a big pee. Like, I
definitely.
wasn't peeing over
And then
over
it was
again.
like what? It was like the next day. It was like as soon as you
What
got
the
home from
fuck
Paris.
was with the
It was that
face?
night. It was.
It came
It
on
was.
that quickly,
It came on that night. Pain, and
Fucking
it
hell.
slowly came on until the next day in work. I couldn't stand.
You got
I
cursed.
could not stand.
You
I think I got cursed. Yeah,
No, you did. Like
I
you
could
don't
still be
like,
cursed.
You're not going to go to a graveyard and
scary
pee over
thought.
someone's grave and get away with it.
I
Like
could still be
yeah.
cursed.
Yeah, how
Like the
do you-
antibiotics cured the urinary tract, but
Yeah.
how do I know that?
Yeah, there's not something. Yeah.
Maybe we should do a wee seance in here to turn off the
Yeah.
lights and
Yeah.
light a candle.
Yeah.
If there's anybody inside Gavin,
Mix
like,
it
Maybe it's like, the spirits have like a, you know, like they're kind of like, it's a piss for a piss, like.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what. No, nothing's ever. I don't think anything's wrong with me since. You know,
Jesus.
Weird though, isn't
it is
Like,
weird,
it's weird
and
shit,
I wasn't
but-
going to tell it, but because I didn't think. It
I'm
was
glad
that
you
weird,
did.
like,
Glad
but
you
he's
brought
glad I
it to
told
the brought it to the
Yeah.
table. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the first person to piss in the catacombs.
No,
I know for
You think
sure
so?
I won't be peeing there.
Yeah.
Don't pee there.
No, because the catacombs used to be like, there used to be like slums, like there used to be like people living in them.
Oh,
and all,
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Really?
Oh
Didn't know.
yeah, yeah. Because Paris is
There's a
just
film.
like, so
Is it
dense.
As Above As Below or something?
As
the
above,
guy, the Jeff from
as
Xena or
below,
something, is it?
as
As
above,
above.
as below,
I haven't seen it.
or so below.
I refuse to watch it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I even when I'm looking at pictures and stuff, it's creepy. Like,
You talked about these big blue bottles and stuff, and you've got one of them tattooed on your
Oh, yeah.
wrist.
that is weird. Is that not creepy?
I just noticed that.
Pointing out all these.
I know,
things.
pointing out all these.
I don't really know. So
Just comes
see
over
with tattoos. I
now,
don't know.
something.
You've got loads of tattoos. You sort of notice, and like sometimes you look at your arm and go, "Oh yeah, that's right. I've got that. I've got that on my arm. Like I've got a moth there, and then bad.
You got a bad.
Yeah.
Shit, boys.
Like,
Well, I've got no more like creepy local stories. I don't think to add.
I have another one from Sharon Clark.
Oh, please do.
Or for
yes,
best
yes,
ladies
yes.
in the
Yeah,
whole
oh yeah,
world.
do because I love these.
this is the paranormal investigator girl, is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I love these.
Yeah.
And it's one local close to home, Armagh Women's Prison.
Oh man,
This is what I've come here for now. I've come here today to listen to these wee stories that you bring to the table.
yeah.
Great.
I love the prison.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna give a bit of background on the prison before we start? Are you gonna
Suppose, yeah, like, I mean, like-
let Chris have his say there.
Oh no,
Oh, you? I thought you were going to give us a background.
No.
I was like, what? He's actually useful today.
Women's Prison.
Yeah, if we look here.
Arm
Um,
slide.
Next slide.
The Women's Prison, like, I don't fuck. There might be details in this article, like about like how old and stuff it is. Like, all I know is that it's old as fuck, right? It is there like Victorian times, and there used to be like executions and stuff done
That's right.
at
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
It actually used to be done not at it. Vickers Hill is where they used to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard that. Yeah,
as well. Like,
I heard that. Yeah.
like used to be called like what do you call that thing?
Hangman. Wasn't
Uh,
that?
Hangman's Hill,
the
yeah.
gallows,
I think.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's the
There
gallows.
was the
there
gallows
was
that
the
they
gallows.
Or
killed.
Gallows Hill, maybe it's called. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
Gallows is the name of building in Armagh.
Is
It's
it
probably
Beside-
what?
beside- I think no.
That's where they would have been.
That's
probably.
wrong.
We need to start going
It's
to
called.
Armagh.
It's
I'm
called
done.
the. It's called the Shallows. It could be- what's this word?
Shallows.
called?
The gallows.
Yeah.
Gallows.
Yeah.
Gallows was the place where the chick
Yeah.
like hung.
Yeah,
Hanging.
I don't want to
Hanging.
say it, but is the building beside McKennan's not called the Gallows? The building, the derelict building.
I don't know.
That goes back
I know
into-
that there's a place like out in the Palace Stables that's called like Gallows Hill or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Is there?
don't know anybody that's listening. If
But
you
it-
want to
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Any
and subscribe
Armagh
and
locals,
leave a
maybe
comment.
fill us in. But essentially, yeah. Listen, there was a prison there,
Armagh
and people were
Women's
executed
Prison.
there.
Yeah. And between the prison and there's a courthouse right at the other side of the mall.
There is.
Yeah.
It
And
links to the prison.
It links
Under
underneath the
the
mall,
mall.
like an underground walkway where they would have taken
Yeah.
prisoners.
Imagine
Um,
going down there.
But like it has ancient history like that, and people being executed and stuff like that, and it has like more modern history as well, like with the Troubles and all that, and the
Oh yeah.
political prisoners and all this stuff. So originally it housed only women, and then like it got like kind of broke up into different wings, and there were some men there as well.
Yeah.
Different types of like felons and stuff were stored there, like lower risk or whatever. But yeah, it's like not used anymore, and it's going to be turned into a hotel apparently, if that ever fucking happens. But
Apparently. It is still one of the creepiest buildings around. Like when you drive by that thing at night,
Yeah.
it's weird as
it
shit,
is like,
man.
oh, I'm going to sit in
There's
the top
still
of the
bars
bar.
in the windows, and it's just
That's boarded up.
it's boarded up. Yeah, it's a weird place.
And like people like frequently like spot like people faces in the window.
Yeah.
All this like there's so many, and there was like a paranormal like team like on the TV. What do you call them like shows?
Yeah, remember
Paranormal
someone-
investigators, ghost hunters.
Yeah.
They were there
Most
and
haunted.
like.
Did you ever
paranormal-
see that footage?
I did, but I don't know if I believe your
It's
woman.
terrible.
Your woman's walking down the corridor and she's like, "There's people screaming at me," like
Nice.
from the
I don't
cells.
believe any of that.
That's a bit much, like.
I
But
believe it's haunted,
Yeah.
but I don't believe it. Any.
this story kind of comes from the same woman. Sorry,
No, quick.
this comes from that Sharon
Clark.
Clark one. Same thing, like kind of investigates these things, has a bit of an open mind, but is a skeptic. Like
Yeah.
wouldn't just like accept
I
things
like this
like
girl.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her too. Yeah.
I like her.
I wonder could we get her right?
Is she still living, or is this from way back?
No,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is real recent. 2015,
Oh, I
So
know
September
she-
15.
Clark.
2015.
And she from Armagh?
I don't know
Oh,
where
no.
she's from. But she's on this website, Spooky Isles, which is like all spooky, weird stuff happening across British Isles, Ireland. So check it out if you want to get more of that stuff. Yeah, Armagh, constructed in 1780. That's how old it is.
There
Like,
you go. Wow.
Wow.
so it goes
incredible.
way fucking back.
That's incredible.
That's an old boy. Like, yeah.
240 years old.
That's
Quick maths.
Is it?
Jeez.
that is quick.
Is it
man.
right?
Is it
Wait,
right?
what year?
Different
What year did
question.
you say? 1780.
1780, yeah.
Ah, yeah. That's right
1780.
then.
Is it right though? I don't know.
240.
Jesus.
Is that to the year?
It is to the year.
bang
We're
on.
2020 and it was 1780,
Wow.
so that is 240.
Well done.
Add 40 and brings you up to 1800, 1820, and then the 200, 2020.
Carry the one.
Bang. Coward Vortiman used to call me out back in the day. Is it?
So here's a couple of like eyewitness accounts. But like, first off, like I've never actually been to it, but whenever I was in uni, I had to do this like. There's all this footage that was taken of the prisoners like today, modern day, talking about their experiences in the prison from the Troubles and all this shit.
So people who were actually prisoners there?
Yeah, female,
Oh, wow.
but it was all focused around like the Troubles.
There's
and all
some
that
pretty well
stuff.
known like, people in Armagh that
Oh,
have
yeah,
been,
they-
like, they've been in the jail.
Oh well.
But along with this, they had these like they call them like video tours where they went and just got like every part of the prison and they recorded it, right? And they had like different shots like panning across and zooming and stuff like that. There, it was my job to go and like edit like a little like demo of it, like like here's all the different
Tell
parts
me
of the
about
prison.
this.
Yeah. And there's this one clip, and I remember it so fucking vividly. Like I'm 100% sure this is not nothing. Like, there's no ghosts or anything happening here, but it's just every time I watched it, I got fucking like the arms went up in my hair. The arms went up in my hair. The hair went up in my arms, right?
We're all talking funny the damn
It was like there's basically 3 levels to it. Like so there's like the ground, then there's just like kind of raised one. There's like a catwalk on the very top, where the guards or whatever walk.
Yeah.
So this shot is like big windows at the bottom. It's panning up these stairs up to this catwalk, and all you hear is this clanging in the background and this fucker whistling, real positive, like real positive, happy tune. But in this like fucking image, all I am seeing is like darkness and cells
No.
and this bang.
And you've heard noises like.
this is on video, like.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm nearly 100% sure it's just a guy who's
Doing
someone
it?
else.
Yeah, I have heard that there was somebody been playing sound effects.
But
and
no,
they're-
it's not even like the fucking fool you or nothing. Like these people were just in it one random day to get shot for.
Oh really?
I think someone was just whistling in the background, but when you hear it and you see this, you're like, this is freaky. Every time I had to go to that clip, I got the fucking. It's just
What were you doing there again?
I wasn't actually there. This was
Oh.
like it was like just to give like an idea of what the prison is like, what it looks like today, for this stupid. Basically, they were doing a documentary on like all the female prisoners from the Troubles,
And you edited it just?
and I added a small part of it. Like, but every time I
Very
got
good.
that clip, it was fucking weird. By
Jesus.
here's some eyewitness accounts now.
Yes.
Armagh is rife with stories of recent public eyewitnesses, accounts of shadow figures being seen moving across the building, ghostly faces peering out the windows, and even photographs taken of weird human-like figures. Staff have stated hearing footsteps, disembodied voices crying, and doors slamming shut. The walls house a couple of centuries of extreme suffering, torture, executions, and murders, so I'm sure even residual energy lingers. I had the pleasure, this is Sharon, our best friend Sharon. I had the pleasure to accompany a group of people to spend time within the Gale late at night without public intrusion. I have to say, after experiencing Crumlin Road Gale, which is another
Been there, yeah.
fucking... Have you been there?
Yeah,
Yeah?
done it.
Belfast, another fucking super haunted place. I was both excited and apprehensive, as from a paranormal perspective, Gales tend to harbour feelings of oppression and in some cases aggressive activity. She's also stated that she thinks the Armagh prison is like way more active than Crumlin Road.
Actually,
Yeah.
Sharon says it.
Sharon says this. I love how we talk like we know her.
Sharon said this?
Yeah.
I believe Sharon.
Yeah.
As we approached this structurally beautiful building from the outside, all lit up, my optimistic side thought it to be quiet and inviting, but how wrong I was going to be proved. We entered the building, and as I walked around, I tried to imagine what it must have been like to be an inmate. It didn't take much imagination, as the interior remains very much the same as it was throughout the centuries. The walls in the solitary cells seem to ooze an invisible cry, a residual echo of defeat and hopelessness. She's a great writer.
Yeah,
I like her shit.
great wording here.
As I gazed upon A Wing, it heightened me as a woman and a mother to the deep level of oppression and terror these women felt, and what the building witnessed. We can say that the 18th and 19th century judicial system was archaic, but as my history of the place showed, it continued right up until the doors closed. So many women through the centuries were locked up for minor crimes, even occasionally no crimes at all.
Jesus.
As we went outside to the execution areas, so that's right, they used to do the executions up on the gallows,
yeah.
and then they moved it to like into the prison, so like executions were performed on the grounds.
Jesus.
As we went outside to the execution areas, the atmosphere was one of darkness, both seen visually in the night sky and felt in my very soul. It felt like it had been a long time before any light had ever pierced the energy. Some people complained of feeling dizzy and ill. Obviously, from a psychological point of view, this could be attributed to our knowledge of its dark history. Mm-hmm. So she's kind of saying these people who felt dizzy are probably just like impacted by what they know, rather than what's actually happening. As we moved to B Wing, which housed the men, it was at this point that the Armagh Gale started to show its justified reputation for housing paranormal activity. Phone batteries started to drain. People were unable to take pictures, etc. Arguably, investigators do have an advantage in that we don't feed into suggestive fear and usually have a rational explanation for any noise or unusual occurrences. In my field, I am investigating the paranormal from a scientific angle, and my history of studying psychiatry helps me to understand why people do feel ill or instigate mass hysteria. But I will state what I heard and saw in B-Wing is not easily, if at all, able to be debunked.
I like the way she puts that. You know, like she sort of says, yes, like I will look at it at every other angle first before I say like this is something a wee bit dodgy going on here. Like so she's
bit of credibility.
I like it. Yeah.
Sharon's smart.
Sharon is smart.
Be like Sharon.
We stood in a group, the place eerily quiet. I looked up at the second floor where more cells lined walls, and I felt a very strong sense of someone watching me. Then it started. Cell doors banging, and when I say banging, I do not mean light tappings or scrapes. I mean large, repetitive thuds. Gasps went out around the group, a common question to me of, oh my god, what was that? I highlighted the necessity to not only remain quiet, but also to stay calm. Periods of silence ensued as the atmosphere got more oppressive and cold. I would even be so bold to say that it felt whatever was there was gathering energy and feeding off fears, which like we were talking about that fucking recently. Like, oddly, the banging would intensify with any gadgets used, so phones, cameras, etc. We then all faced the steel stairs facing the second floor, and 4 members of the group suddenly looked scared to death, pointing to the stairs, open mouth, saying, "Did you see it? It was on the stairs."
Bye.
So 4 people all at once.
4 people.
Jesus.
4 people, all stated a male figure came down the stairs towards us. As I called for quiet, a voice quivering said, "Oh Sharon, it's tall and it's beside you."
Oh Sharon. Oh Madron.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
It's tall and it's beside
you. To be honest, it did feel like someone was indeed beside me. I looked around and saw a black shadow figure move among the group. Others were shouting, "It's over here, oh God." It became very intense and intimidating for some, so I led everyone to neutral territory, and as we walked, the door banging got louder and faster. You could almost feel the anger.
This sounds horrific.
I have been in many locations that claim paranormal activity, famous places, castles, opera houses, even people's homes and businesses. And I have to say that Armagh Gael is one of the most active
Wow.
places I have ever had the privilege to experience. I will never forget that night, and as a researcher, it has fueled my calling to keep going to find out exactly what is out there.
That is mad. And the fact that she says out of all those places, Armagh Jail, which is 200 yards from where I live,
Yeah.
is the most haunted place she's pretty much has ever been to.
Oh,
I think it's right in front of like the fucking public park, like the main fucking.
The
yeah,
yeah.
the mall.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All these people walk past it every single
I never
day.
look at that place to see him again.
I never have.
I knew it was haunted. I
Yeah.
knew it was haunted and all, but he wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, it's like...
It wouldn't scare. It never scared me before. But
That's it. Like even
Now
when
you
you're
think
driving
twice.
past it and you look up at it, it doesn't scare me. You're just kind of like, that's the
Yeah.
women's prison, and yes, it's probably haunted.
Yeah.
Just don't go into it.
Jesus.
Simple. You can look at it. Looks real
see, to be
nice.
fair though, the mall's old.
Oh, the mall's
The
old.
mall
as
is
Shaped like a
shit.
coffin as well.
Yeah.
It's what?
Shaped
Shaped
like a
like a-
coffin.
The mall.
If you see it top
That's
down,
right.
it's like, you know... For
You could. You probably run around the mall, do you?
No, I haven't actually.
No.
For fear of being chased by something.
But you run faster up around the. Up
You
around
get your
the tail
PB
end.
coming away from the women's prison. And you
No.
find out the
You run this
courthouses.
morning, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Seen that?
You just run around the haunted forest instead.
Just run around the haunted forest. Yeah.
Very good.
But
That is crazy.
I don't know, man. It's like...
I think I'm liking this. I'm liking this girl, like, you know.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm going to
That's
actually do a
that
bit of
lucky
research
for
on her.
Spooky
I'm
Eyes
gonna look
on
into her.
Spooky Islands.
Check
yeah.
it out.
We'll look into that a bit more. She definitely seems like a person who I think we could get on this
Oh,
show.
that would be a
I think-
tremendous.
I think
guest.
you could get her on. I
Yeah.
think
Should
she will
definitely
come
look
on.
into
If not even on Skype, if not here, at
Yeah.
least on Skype.
in here, in the women's prison, we'll go.
Oh,
Oh,
Get her to
Take
take us
her
to
in.
the women's prison.
Fuck off.
Yeah, who will?
You're gonna go to the women's prison.
Yeah.
If she's there, I feel safe.
I do.
I wouldn't go in with just us.
I would go in just us. Imagine
Jesus
how good
Christ.
that would be on TV.
Oh God, hey,
Like,
how when it's getting me?
Yeah, it's getting
Boy,
stormy
something's not
out there.
happy. Something's not happy with these
There's
stuff.
noises happening out there.
I spoke. I'll tell this another time, but of Leap Castle down in Offaly that we were meant to visit. You know, for the climax of the October, Spooky October, and
I done it, yeah.
Get
So
rid
yeah,
of
cool.
same. And we were meant to visit it there, but some of it, like I've told you the stories of it.
No,
It's,
this place
it's
is.
frightening. Like, but I'll touch on that. later.
Is that the one that's kind of like single-handedly, like refurbished or something like that
yeah.
by this guy?
One
Yeah.
old timer,
And he's like he every time someone comes to visit, like he like personally walks you around.
It sounds like something out of what do you call the film Jack Nicholson's
Oh,
The
Shining.
Yeah, it sounds like The Shining.
Yeah.
Like, it probably is.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. But yeah,
It sounds terrible.
It does.
Ireland has a lot of stuff. Like Ireland's rich
Does.
with that kind of
we have
history.
a
and-
miserable fucking history. So
Yeah, we do.
Lots
It
of
was worse,
awful
like,
things have happened.
The famine and all, like
Yeah.
so long ago, like but
Yeah.
that's so much death there.
So
do you know what I
many,
mean?
like, homes
so many
and stuff,
death, so
yeah.
much death. Unbelievable.
There's a shrine in is it Canada for the is it Canada or is it Argentina?
For the famine?
Yeah, for all the thousands of Irish who died on the coffin ships trying to get from
Wow.
Ireland to
Yeah, the
The-
New World.
the New World during the famine. I've just seen it during the week
Did you
actually.
ever hear that thing? There was a tribe, like Native American Indian tribes.
Yep.
I forget which one it was, but they basically give like
And they give they raise the $600 and give it to.
to Ireland for people in the family.
There's a shrine in Cork. The Six Feathers.
Yeah, that's right.
It's unbelievable.
Like $600. That was back then. That was like
That's
hundreds of
everything.
thousands and all. And it was literally all they had. The Choctaw, I think it was who it was.
Good on
Yes.
Choctaw.
Yeah.
It's mad. Like.
Choctaw is right. Yeah.
you. Well done.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Fair
huge.
play.
Big
Did we ever pay them back? I doubt it.
Yeah.
The Headless Horseman is another Irish
Yeah.
lore as well.
I love that.
Oh, here there was one
good
that
film.
I fucking thought
Sleepy
about.
Hollow.
Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Never seen it.
Oh, Sleepy Hollow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Class.
I love it. Like,
I love
see,
it.
we were probably young whenever it first came out.
Yeah.
Like, you were maybe,
Yeah, yep.
I think you were maybe 7 or I was probably 10 or something like.
Yeah.
And like watching that film for the first time, there's actually a place in Rich Hill, and I think the street of the drive is called Sleepy Hollow. Do you know that street on the Rich Hill? You take a right off Portdown Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Sleepy Hollow, isn't it? That
Is it?
yeah, I think it's called Sleepy
Wow.
Hollow. So even driving down there,
Tinker lives there. Yeah.
get him on.
Tell us the story.
It's quite funny as well whenever I hear you talk about like your friends' names at the house. It's weird hearing a local name on TV. Like
Yeah.
you say it's on about like is it Liam Mulligan?
Yeah.
So I like went on to Facebook like who's this Liam Mulligan guy who can like beat up gorillas and stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah, I remember we were
'cause
talking
that's-
about
Yeah, you pick Liam Mulligan for the
That's right, yeah.
gorilla
You
fight.
take him into the fight with you.
we would have the
Yeah, he
strategy
looks seem to
down
be a
for
big guy. Like so
Yeah.
I'd take him to like
Yeah, take him.
he would rip the head off a gorilla.
Yeah.
Like that.
There you go,
that.
Liam.
There you go. Yeah.
So
What was I gonna say? Devil's Bridge.
Devil's Bridge is a huge
I heard you
one.
talk about this last time. Where's this?
I don't even know many stories about it. It was just up the road.
It's been known in
It's up
two.
here,
It's known in two different bridges basically, but old folklore tale. Guy coming back from
The pub
one night, and apparently he's seen the devil just sitting on the bridge.
Yeah, what was he taking in the pub? Like, you know,
I
first thing
know,
on.
yeah.
They're always going over the pub.
Yeah.
They're always coming from the pub, yeah. But if I was coming home at night, I wouldn't want to see anything on those
No.
country roads, those rural.
Oh
country
my
roads.
god! If you're walking home, that's why I see the country. It's scary. Like, you just look out the window and see space.
Yeah.
Right? You see space. You see if you're, I don't know if your kitchen, but like my cousins live in the country, and I remember my auntie said to me one night about she was cleaning the dishes and she looked out. She looked out the kitchen window. And there was someone, she seen someone standing in the middle of the field. Do you know?
Yeah,
That is so scary. That is so scary.
We're gonna look out there someday.
You will look out. You will look out. You'll look out.
There's
Mate.
a fucking forest like that.
Yeah,
That is.
no. There's a woman who lives nearby. I'll not say where or anything, just for
I hate this woman.
Oh, do you?
what do you call it? Just
She scares the bejesus out
just a
of me.
woman lives nearby, and she wears like long kind of gowns and trench coats, and I mean, she like will walk straight through our garden and just go
What?
straight in,
Right.
straight
What,
in,
here?
yeah,
Yeah.
straight into the through the
Man.
middle
Like,
of the forest.
That is.
I was
Do you know her?
I was walking
We-
around the.
we
Do you know her
don't
name?
No.
That's not a woman. Like,
I was walking around the
Yeah,
forest
you
one
that is
day.
not a woman.
Yeah, whenever we finish this, I'll show
Fucking
you
go out
exactly
next
where
time
she
she does
lives.
it. Go out and talk to her.
Oh, you
no.
know she does live. Okay.
Oh right.
Oh yeah, we know where she lives.
Oh
yeah,
right. I thought it was just a random
But there's
woman.
just something not quite right.
There's-
And she
6
knows-
Yeah.
a.m. every morning.
No, I'm talking like
Oh, it's
in,
on the same
like
time?
weather like that. She will like just come out and just dander through the forest,
But not
Maybe
even.
she has someone out there. Maybe like a
But
loved
I-
one's died. And just
but
put
like-
someone out there. She goes out and talk to
which was
someone,
way
you know?
up through the fields.
I was
stands
walking
in
through the
middle of
forest,
field.
like just walking through it, and like to get up on our path, you have to walk through this forest, and it's only us that know about that path.
Mhm.
Like it's only us, and James.
And she-
James knows. But there's a big straight and in this forest is on your right hand side,
Yeah.
and I came round the corner and we was just coming along the street, and I seen someone in a big long coat and thought it's all right, they're obviously just out walking. It was starting to sort of rain a bit. Next thing, she stopped exactly at our entrance, turned, looked straight into the forest, and just started walking.
Oh,
And I
dear.
goes, nope. And I got on the phone and was like, someone walk up and meet me. I'm not walking through
Me
there.
and Dad
no."
went up and met him, and we
Oh,
walked through the
God.
forest and we didn't see her.
You didn't meet her.
No.
And
And
where
there's
did
only one path.
And
Yeah.
then she appeared over here later on.
Guys, she's need to really. He's
Like-
in the crowd. I
That
got
could
I
her.
was
just
going
grow
on
on
it.
me too
Oh,
much.
That house
that
has been empty
terrifies
It's
me.
for
creepy
6
as
years.
fuck, but it doesn't like. I'm not like.
That terrifies
There's
me.
bound to be a reason for it. And once you find out the reason, then
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
yeah,
well,
true.
all these years. And
It's a weird one, like
Just a bit of
No,
mystery.
Yeah.
she can just.
history and mystery. I don't have any more tales.
I mean, there were a lot of good local scary
So,
stories.
yeah,
Or, like,
definitely.
we definitely must have talked for about an hour and a half. for sure.
Definitely, yeah. Yes, I have some community questions. Okay, we're going to start off with one from PodSource. And their question this week for us is, what is the worst meal that you've ever paid for?
God, there's so many.
That's a good question.
Fuck.
So I'm thinking
That's
as well,
bad
maybe
when
we
you've got
open
many.
this up and maybe go into like worst meal experience.
Yeah.
Not just the meal, like if you've had like a bad experience, you paid money for it, and you just come out thinking,
Oh,
what the fuck? Like, what
I'll
was
go
that?
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Glencairn and Blaney.
Oh,
The Glen?
The Glen, yeah.
Wow.
I was told many great things about it.
Yeah.
I got a steak. I think it was like a steak sandwich or whatever, which was like, it was cooked 6 times over. Like,
Oh, it's so bad. You can't do that
and
to steak.
my girlfriend who had ordered like a medium to well got a rare.
Oh, like, how
Well,
just,
they may have just got it. They could have got it. They swapped the hands over and give you some
Maybe,
ones.
yeah.
No, but still, like, this is the thing. Like,
was-
you gotta
yeah,
know this stuff.
But
like,
and the problem, the reason it was so bad, because there was a few of us to be fair, but whenever we like had to get these things swapped out, then it was almost as if you just like once you give your meal back, they were like, well, you've already got your food, so we'll come do you again, and once we've served everybody else. It took forever for us to get the corrected
Mhm.
fucking things.
no.
Oh, it was just a whole hand.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, yeah, you go out for food and you expect like
You
a.
pay money for
But
it. You
every-
expect it to be done your
It's
way.
a tough gig. Food's a tough gig. So there's like,
Yeah.
it's, the service has to be right.
Yeah.
Right? If the service isn't right and the food's good, it's not right. Because you have a bad
Yeah.
service and it spoils the
True.
food.
Yeah, yeah.
If the service is really good and the food's okay, so you're going back. You've had an okay meal, the service has been class, I ain't going back.
You're not going back.
I am going back, that's what I'm saying.
if the
Yeah.
food,
If the food's okay,
if the food
but the
is
service
okay,
is really
but the
good,
food- yeah.
and you're happy with your waiter and everything's
I'll go
good,
back,
and,
'cause
and,
I've
drinks are
been to
brought,
places
that's
like
good.
that,
That's,
yeah.
I'm happy with that. But I had one like recently. Went to, I don't care, I'm going to say it, Uluru.
Oh yeah, you got
Nah.
a name and shame. these
Right,
places.
I'm saying it. It used to be And everybody knows this. It used to be my favourite restaurant.
I've never
I
had
went
it.
there 3 times a week, every week.
Fuck.
Maybe a couple of times for my lunch, one night dinner. I would say at least 2 times a week, every week.
What type of food do they do?
Well, it's an Australian restaurant, but it's just normal food. They do kangaroos as well and stuff like that.
Full kangaroos?
Yeah.
Kangaroos.
Give us a kangaroo.
Kangaroo and
They do
stick.
cuts of kangaroo, but I went there recently and ordered a goat's cheese starter. My normal go-to starter, like fucking lovely goat's cheese starter. You sort of expect a bit of breadcrumb around it, and warm, nice and soft, class bit of chutney dip or something. It came out and it was like fucking butter. It was like a spread. It was like an ice cream or something. It was cold, and they had it on the crackers, and the crackers weren't even crackers. They broke. I had it anyway, right? And I wasn't enjoying it. It was literally like eating butter.
Oh,
It was cold and not nice, and it actually made me sick that I couldn't even eat my main.
really?
I was sitting in my stomach,
Oh,
and I was
no.
like sort of burping, and I couldn't eat my main. And I got like a lamb shoulder or something, and it was terrible too. It's really gone downhill, that place.
That sucks. So it's the worst
Shit.
whenever you have a go-to favorite.
It was
and
my
it's just-
go-to.
You can't
Yeah.
even go to it anymore. 'cause
Bagel
it's-
bean used to be the same. I used to love bagel bean. It became not so good, and then it's been took over again. And now it's apparently I haven't got one since, but apparently it's class again. Back to the old bagel bean.
Well,
I've only ever had like 2 bagel beans.
Never had one in my life.
That's
I've had
crazy.
a few. Yeah, that would be a good one to do. We used to always do a pre-podcast food.
Mhm.
It was always great. Yeah. Do you know where is great service at OK Food is Waters's.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
I know Walrus because it's brilliant.
Wait a second. I know which water system.
The filling station I'm talking about.
Yeah, the filling
Filling
station.
station's
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, the filling station's unbelievable. You
The old
get a
coach.
breakfast roll in
Yeah.
there.
I would not.
I
Each
love
of
a
their
breakfast
individual
roll.
servers are pretty
Put
decent. people,
wedges and everything in
but
it.
in
You get
general,
the
I
wedges
don't
in
like
it,
one of
potato
those.
wedges.
Never
No,
had a breakfast
no.
roll from
Oh,
He
there.
wedges you all in, and then he kicks
I've
you all
never
out.
done
Whenever
anything like that.
he just wants maximum people. He wants maximum through. What do you call it?
Foot traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants people in and out. He wants
Yeah, yeah.
numbers. I don't know. I just don't like that. I always feel like I'm being kicked out.
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
feel like I'm being
Rushed.
squeezed in and then
And you hate
pushed
that
out.
as well. Like,
Pushed
Hate that.
I hate it. You need to be
I think-
sitting relaxed.
I had to think
Nowhere
about
to
this myself. I think my worst one was up in Donegal. Me and my girlfriend at the time were staying in waterfront hotel, and the thing is about the food is it was excellent food, but, and I've talked about this before, we had just finished starter, and as they were lifting the plates, they put down the main course.
What?
And as they lifted the main course, they put down the dessert straight away. So it was just bang, bang, bang.
Can't do that.
And I don't like that. I like a bit of.
No, you can't do that.
Do you need a gab?
It's
You
spaced
need
out.
5 minutes, I would say.
Okay, so the food was okay, and then they were kind of pushy with like the drinks I was drinking. Kind of like maybe like a sip or two of my pint, and they'd be like another one, and they'd just bring another one down. I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm having another one. Now I know you can say, Chris, you got to stop at any point.
Yeah.
But I only had like a couple of drinks. I think it might have been a bad pint. But
That happens.
Oh, is this the?
the speed of the food and the fact that those drinks, I was up all night shaking my guts up.
Yeah.
It was so bad. It was some of the
It was
worst.
Guinness, wasn't it?
It was
Remember
Guinness.
you telling me this story
Yeah.
before?
I didn't drink Guinness for a while.
I have
after
not
that,
drunk Guinness in a long time.
But that's what I think.
Figured
Like
out.
that's an example of the food was,
Yeah.
food was okay, but the service was quite like why are you doing this? Why are you being so quick?
I think service is more important than food.
Mm.
I don't know.
And that initial walking in, I see that, what do you call it, up in the Gavin there. You love it. You go to bed with it. So you do.
Bubba Drew's.
Bubba Drew.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Bubba Drew's. I mean, you walk in there, right? You walk into Bubba Drew's, and there's about 12 people working on it. There's about 4 people sitting down,
Yeah.
right? And it takes them 15 minutes to actually
Just to
acknowledge
see
you.
you. Yeah. You
I'm standing there. I actually walked in one day and stood there and went, and just walked out and went to the place beside it, which was crap, like the pink elephant or something. It was brutal. It was terrible.
No,
And,
the thing is,
they're standing there looking at you and going, this is
but
a
I've been through
restaurant.
this with friends as well, right?
Fucking useless. I hope
Bubba
he
Drew's
is.
is not a great place.
No, it's terrible.
But the thing is it's accessible.
Yeah.
There's loads of parking. It's relatively cheap for the
Full of
food.
shit.
And it's just like, oh, I'm here now. I may as well. It's either this or like McDonald's or
Yeah.
something. I may as well just go here.
I got a 12-ounce chicken burger.
Yeah,
It was
chicken burger he
huge.
got was
It was a
ridiculous.
6-ounce chicken burger, and you could add another fillet to it for like an extra £2. So I was like, it's not going to be that big.
Did you do a
It was
a donut
like
burger? though?
the bap was like that size, and the chicken was about that, and there was 2 of them.
How do you eat that?
I don't know, but I ate the whole thing.
Did you?
That's good.
Yeah, the whole thing.
You're a dog. Like,
Yeah.
I see that
No,
steak you could go on there last week. You see that steak you
Yeah,
had going?
steak,
What?
yeah.
Oh, it's a good steak.
Where'd you get it from? What was
That
it? It was a tomahawk steak or a
T-bone.
T-bone?
That was from McInerney's.
Was it?
It was £17. Yeah.
You paid £17 for that, or?
Yeah.
I know that's nothing. You would pay £30 for that.
Yeah.
But,
It's a
But
big
that
steak.
Sticks and
You're going
Stones
for it,
place
yeah.
in Belfast has a steak for 65 quid, and I just don't
Have
really.
you ever had it?
was it you used to told
Could
me
you-
about
Not the 65 one.
No.
the thing on the steak?
Yeah, the Axo
Yeah, that's where I got it from here. I haven't
That's,
done that yet, but
that's
I
what
want
I
to try
did
it.
on
You
the
did it?
steak. Tastes great.
We had
Yeah?
steak
Tastes great.
during the week. We didn't do that. Though.
Ah,
Oh, we did.
God, did you have Oxo cubes?
No, well, so we didn't do that
Yeah.
there. It was delicious because we went for got fillets, but they were like £14 each or something like that. Yeah, they were
Nice
good.
changing up with the fillet.
Yeah, it was actually the fact your steak inspired me.
Mm.
So let's go for good expensive ones.
Oh,
I used to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
I used
It
to
makes
be.
a difference, though, doesn't it? Like,
Oh, yeah,
It used to be
absolutely.
fillet all the way. Like every time you go out fillet, but see now, like it's a deer's cut of meat.
Yeah.
See, like a rump.
Mhm.
See rump steak,
Mm.
or I think it's called chump steak. Is it?
Chump, yeah.
It's called rump, isn't it?
Chump and
chump and
rump,
rump.
yeah.
It's the same steak. So
I think so.
but it's the cheapest cut. But I'm telling you now, usually if you get a £4 rump steak,
Yeah.
it's like this. It's the size of your
monster,
plate,
like,
and it's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
juicy, and
It's 'cause it's got
just
loads
as
of
nice.
fat in it,
So
doesn't
it's
it?
just as nice.
Yeah.
So I never go for fillets anymore. You get a big rump, £4.50, and the size of my plate.
I've had a couple of good fillets. If I was going for anything though, I'd probably go T-bone, sirloin, porterhouse,
But you're a
ribeye.
vegetarian.
Yeah.
I go fillet. But
True.
But you just don't get big steaks out anywhere. Like you pay £17 for that steak,
Yeah.
and then like 2 weeks before I was out for steak, and it was like £21 for like an
12 ounce?
yeah,
10,
and
8
you're
ounce?
Mm.
like, what is the point in this? Like that's steak.
TGI is a rip off for steaks.
Oh, they're
TJ's
brilliant.
rip-off.
They do good
But the
cheesy
Jack Daniels
mash.
sauce is. I could drink it.
Their cheesy mash is
I could
great.
drink that Jack
I
Daniels.
have drank it.
Second question.
Oh, still the first question. What was the question? What was it?
Your
Worst
what is the
dining
worst
experience?
meal you've ever paid for?
I think we've all
Oh,
done it,
fuck
haven't
it.
we?
Yeah, we done that.
It's yours, Bubba Drew's.
Mine is.
He didn't go to
I didn't.
You went to
I've been in
the
before, but no. I'm
Sassy
gonna put the Uluru on top of the list there.
Yeah, it was Uluru,
This
yeah.
Oh
one.
yeah, that's right. Second question comes from Michelle Callahan this week. Which smell do you prefer, coffee shop or bakery?
Bakery.
Fuck.
Simple.
No, that's not simple.
Coffee
have to
shop
think- you have to think
smelled
about this.
great.
Right, I used to work in the Southern Education and Levy Board, right?
SELB.
On the mall again, another
Respect.
building, old building, Georgian
Another
building,
building.
four floors.
Oh, four.
But the basement, okay, was the kitchen,
cafeteria,
the bakery.
yeah.
And every morning at about 10 o'clock, we would, you'd have the smell of freshly baked scones. Coming up. Freshly baked scones, and there was no coffee smell. But to see that smell of scones at about 10:30.
That's a
Scones.
winner. That's a
Scones
winner,
are
boy.
like
Wow.
God tier.
Yeah, I love
Wow.
that. But
Like,
at the
I
same
love
time,
scones.
see the smell of
Just
coffee.
wow.
There's something about the smell of
There's
coffee
the
in
smell of
coffee
coffee is
shops.
great.
I fucking love it.
I can appreciate that. Even as a non-coffee drink, like the smell is there's something like kind of
Yeah,
there's an aroma to it.
It's
it's like
professional.
it's
Yeah.
It smells professional.
It's kind of like
It's
it's kind of like
addictive.
it's kind of when I came into your gym downstairs and I could smell that like that rubber, like
Sweat.
that fresh kind of smell. That's not like not like a nice smell. I never burn a candle of that.
yeah.
But there's something about being in there and just smelling. I was like,
And now every time you smell that smell, you think of Chris's gym.
there you go. I have an association with
Yeah.
it,
Unless I get him a candle, a burnt rubber candle.
or just some rubber and I'll burn it.
That could be
Just
all
a bit of a
good.
tire. Oh god, yeah.
You got a spare tire in your car?
But I think for like the nicer smell, like the better
It's
aroma.
baked,
is
baked
bakery.
bread. See
Oh,
bread. See
baked-
when you walk by like the bakery section and like a
M&S is
You
one.
smell that
just
tiger bread. You smell that fresh
Oh,
tiger bread.
tiger
We
bread.
walked in.
Tiger bread?
We walked into M&S yesterday.
yesterday.
Oh jeez, it was just like
Oh yes,
guided
M&S
towards
at
the
the back.
bakery.
Oh,
You
it's
know
the
what I mean?
best.
And they put it at the back, so you knew you were gonna walk.
They had no
down there.
blueberry
M&S
Go
muffins.
is
through
so
all
good.
of the other stuff
Exactly.
on your
M&S is
way.
so good.
Yeah.
They had no blueberry muffins.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
And second question from Michelle Callahan this week: have you ever wondered what your pet may have named you? No.
No,
Bollocks.
Maybe
probably
the
the same as everybody else. Gavin, just like call you by your name, like.
Gavin. I think
When you think about how you named your pet, what was the criteria? It
No,
wasn't
sure.
what they want to be called.
well, our dog was called Mia before we got her.
Oh, was that
so
right?
it was
That
just
was
like,
not your piece.
People should say if you're going to change the name, you should have something similar to it.
Yeah.
Like if it ends like with like
yeah, it would be something.
IE
Mia,
or
yeah.
something IE, Molly.
I think
Chucky.
Mia would know me as just
Polly,
like the
Polly.
person who gives them food,
Yeah.
like decent food,
Food giver.
that I shouldn't probably give the dog.
Like, yeah.
It's like you can have some crisps.
You can have a biscuit.
You know you can't. Oh, I think we've heard it. I've heard it in this one.
It's from
The
him.
grape.
Grape?
Dave,
Oh, yeah.
like
Don't
Dave,
give
you
it
know,
grape.
I talk to people basically ring Dave says every day. Come in. The grape.
Don't give them grapes.
Don't give a dog a
See,
grape. And
yeah,
I
come
know
on.
that now
It'll kill
from Dave.
See if someone
Or raisins or onions.
I told the ones in work
Same
that
thing.
and they were so surprised that you can't give them grapes.
I was so surprised. I couldn't believe it because I think I'm pretty sure I've given dogs. a
We've
lot of
gave the
food.
dog grapes.
Because you do it without thinking. You'd be like, that's a vegetable or a fruit. Like,
Fruit, yeah.
what's the problem?
Yeah.
It's good for you. But it's not. It'll kill them. Stone dead.
Actually?
No, it won't. No. It's actually like there's only a chance it'll like, kill them, but it can make them sick a lot. And there's no way of saying like, oh, this particular breed of dog is fine and this particular dog isn't. It's just random per dog, so you have to kind of treat
Isn't
them
that
all.
like the pips of cherries? They can kill it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the pips of cherries can kill it. They contain ricin or ricin.
Like Breaking Bad.
Like Breaking Bad, exactly.
That's where I heard that from.
Yeah. Next question this week comes from Frank McBride, and he asks, and this is a big one, guys. Oh. Right, well, at the minute he's reading up on the water crisis. So the water is running out, and billionaires and banks are buying up water rights and watering holes. What do you think is going to happen in 20 to 30 years? Will the billionaires keep it and starve people of water?
Yes.
It's a good
I
question.
mean, not in 20 or 30 years, like, but it's...
Well, I mean, we've seen some of the biggest droughts in California in more recent years. Right? But I don't know if it, like...
all them billionaires getting together in groups and just having control. That's what they want, like, you know. Control the numbers.
Flint, Michigan. They don't have drinking water for like 5 years now.
Why?
Because it got contaminated.
Yeah, there's big,
with what?
Forget like some sort of like metal
There's
or something like that in the water.
In Michigan?
Yeah, I've heard something.
So where's their water coming from?
Bottles.
Wow.
Brought in.
Yeah, I wonder is that like to fuel the economy? You know what I mean? So you got to buy bottled water now.
Yeah, I don't think that'll really work because
I don't really drink tap water. Do you?
Yeah, I drink tap water.
Yeah, I drink tap water. Try to.
I mean, if I could, I would drink filtered or like the filtered water.
But the water here, like the water in this country, is pretty fucking good. Like in other countries, especially cities, like you're not drinking quality water.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And that's when people like we don't even, do we pay for water? Or we don't pay for water.
We don't pay.
That's how much water is in fucking Ireland. We don't need to pay for it. But like in America, like they pay.
I pay for water in the shop.
Do you?
I pay water rates, I think, or some sort of water.
Maybe it's because
NI water. I pay for water.
I think our water at the house is covered by your rates or whatever.
Yeah, the water in the house
you pay individual. Like you pay for your water.
Exactly. Well, no, they tried that, but they had to scrap it, didn't they?
Did they?
Oh, yeah, because
they did years ago. Yeah,
didn't everyone complain? Everyone was like, "We're not paying the water."
Right, okay.
And they were like,
license, like.
Yeah, no,
exactly. Yeah.
The other day I went out to the back of my apartment and I didn't realise that post was left there. I have 6 letters. Urgent, read this. Urgent. Have you licensed your TV? Have you
investigation in your area?
We cut you up.
Yeah. Such bullshit.
They're not going to come. What are they going to do? Come into your apartment? Are you watching TV?
They can.
Not during lockdown.
Come into your house.
Not during lockdown.
Please come into your house unless have us.
Can never come into your house.
Really?
You can let them in. Yeah,
exactly,
that's what you don't want to do. If you see a man with a clipboard, just.
The very most they can do is bring the police and ask the police to let them in.
And what happens at that point?
You can say no.
Oh, okay.
Because the police can't come in your house.
They need to go get a thing, don't they? Like a search warrant or whatever.
And have a reason for going in your house.
They were allowed in.
No, that's what they want you to think. And it's the same as well. See if you get that note and it's like, if you don't need a license, just go online and tell us.
Yeah.
And you fill that in. And then you fill in your name and your address. And the next time they send out a letter, it doesn't say to the resident, it says to fucking Christopher Callahan at this address, you need to pay a TV license. And now they have their name. They never let up. They just keep trying. They hope the plan is
quite dear as well.
Yeah,
yeah. £150 or something. And they were asking
own a fucking TV. Like.
I actually checked this the other day. We don't need one. Yeah. You only need it if you're watching live or you're watching iPlayer. If you're not watching, you can use everything else.
Yeah, well, you can.
Netflix and you use fucking 4 on demand. What the fuck it is. So long as you're not watching anything live, you're sweet.
Really?
Yeah. In the north.
I very rarely watch live TV, unless it's a football
sports,
match.
Sports,
podcasts, movies, documentaries.
Yeah.
Soon you may be able to watch a live Empty Promise.
I think that's the way this is going to go.
Yeah. Soon you may be able to.
I like the sound of that.
We're working on that.
Different people coming in, maybe
exactly.
do a 24-hour run.
The community question.
I think that's a good idea. Do it for charity as well. You could maybe do it for a charity, raise money.
24 hours, you just said?
Just 24 hours, have different people come in, even random guests, like, you know.
Swap out.
No, you don't swap it, you stay.
Fuck that.
You're the face of the podcast.
What do you mean? You look
individuals, like 6 hours. 6 hours.
You do 24 hours straight through. You do you get sheets made, sponsors. You just go around. We're doing a 24-hour live podcast.
You see all the planning you've just said there.
Yeah.
In 4 years of doing this, we've never combined put that much effort into a podcast.
If you planned it, we would do it.
Yeah.
If someone else planned it, we would do it. No problem.
But yeah, no, that's
I think it'd be quite a cool idea.
idea.
You don't have to do 24 hours.
It'd be great for charity, like as well. If we could do it for
we just do the next one live and get people to comment in, going, "What's here's my question?"
Getting live questions.
James looks good today.
I was saying to Chris whenever you went to the title, like, you know, you've got good content here. You've over 100 episodes of podcasts. Like, I've seen. I could feel them. Like, I've seen every one from like 40 maybe or something.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
So as soon as people start to
once they watch
more,
one,
they're going to start to watch more, and then they look at the view. Like, once they get in that far, fiend and
You do see that in the analytics.
Analytics.
Analytics,
People going
yeah.
back.
Yeah, analytics.
You know?
Checking.
You just look back and it's like, the most recent episode always is the most, but then you look and you see like 4 or 5 views for 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
People
Yeah.
are going back now.
So you can go in and see.
Oh, we
Yeah.
see everything.
So another thing that you're asking people to do now that I never do. I never see anything. I never like. I don't. Can you subscribe to your channel?
Yeah, yeah.
I put up my phone, link it up to my TV, and then I put my phone away. And I'm just
Exactly,
watching.
yeah.
So I never.
Hit that thumbs up.
I message you, and
Yeah.
I always give you a message watching
Yeah,
the
you do,
podcast. That
you do,
time
yeah.
whenever you said your dad's an alien, like your dad's been abducted. I've told you that straight away. Whenever he was,
He did
I
actually.
did. I heard it and I paused it and I texted your dad is an alien.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that helps us out tremendously
Mm.
actually if we get like ratings on Apple. I don't think
Spotify.
I don't think you can rate on Spotify.
I don't know.
I think you give a thumbs up or something. You
Yeah,
do something.
something.
I will do it on YouTube for us.
Next question then comes from Angie Sheck. If it were deemed the norm or appropriate for guys to wear skirts, would you?
But
Yeah.
are they not? Are kilts not already?
I mean, it's a kilt.
No,
is,
if
yeah.
it's appropriate, yeah, why not?
Well, we're talking skirts.
No,
that's
yeah,
it.
because kilt isn't appropriate because everyone will be like, "Oh, you're Scottish." You're like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not."
I'd wear a skirt, no problem. If it was an arm.
I mean, easy breezy, I guess.
Nah,
nice,
I
you
think there's
think?
too much
you
freedom.
think yeah, that's what you want though, freedom.
I like
Imagine freedom down there.
Imagine wearing I like wearing shorts because it's
Shorts,
freeing.
yeah.
shorts. are
But
the
imagine
best.
not having, the gap in between with shorts.
I get there's a benefit. But then
It's like wearing a towel.
There's also a bit of exposure there.
I
which
don't
we're
like
not-
that feeling. Where
addressing.
you
But
If
nip
you get like a
something real
long
easy
Mexican
down.
shirt, like the long Mexican sort of free flowing ones are a bit airy and
Oh,
You
you
seem
wear
to
one
know
of
a lot
those
about
walking along the
skirts,
beach.
Kev.
Oh, we
I
summer
mean, there's
dress?
been a few times.
like a moo.
Like a moo-moo.
The simplest.
We
But,
could get summer dresses going.
Yeah, what do you call it, Karen?
Hey, Angie?
Angie, I would wear a skirt.
Yeah.
If it was the norm.
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
would too.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I mean, I
think
probably would
that's-
if it was the norm,
So you
but
got a brother called Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
cut
know
his hair?
Andy. I do.
Yeah.
I eat either Chinese as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, yeah.
there
Thank
you
you.
go.
Promotion.
And I apologise, that question
Shout
has
out
been
to
in our
them.
backlog for about 6-7 weeks.
Oh, well, there you go. We
You're just getting around it now.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a lot of
She's
questions.
gonna be
We've
in the
saved it
disappointed.
for to ask you, you see.
Yeah.
What was it again? What was it called? Oh,
Skirt.
would yours?
Next question comes from Podsource again. Which would you choose? Human colonization on Mars or making Earth a better place for all life?
Mars.
Earth.
Really? I would do the Earth thing.
Yeah.
Mars. Yeah.
I know we should do Earth, but I
You love that film,
so
Mars
much
with
good.
Martian.
Martian.
I haven't seen it and you told me to watch
Oh,
it.
Have you
so
not seen it?
fucking
Oh,
good.
you need to go
I'll
watch
get
it.
into the half.
Likewise.
I know. Well, listen, you've not seen a lot of films either. And if you want to go there, we'll go there. Have you watched The Big Lebowski yet?
No.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, Chris comes in. I love Vietnam films and I love Christian Bale. Oh yeah, you've seen Rescue Dawn then? What's Rescue Dawn? It's like one of the biggest. What do you call it?
Vietnam.
Christian Bale Vietnam films you
I've
can
never
watch.
heard. I've never heard of it.
Exactly.
That's so crazy. Like, it's the one where he lost all the weight. Remember he got real thin
He's
for.
done about 6 times though.
Has he? Nah.
Yeah, 'cause
Is that not what he does all
He
the
lost weight for the machinist, and he lost weight for
Fighter.
the fighter as well.
Yeah.
I think the Rescue Dawn was the big weight loss.
Maybe tie them in.
I think the machinist is the big. The
be.
machinist is
Machinist
where
is where
he's
he got
like.
to like
I
60
do-
something
he's
kilo.
skin and bone, like.
Yeah, he got the same on that one.
But
so
anyway,
good
yeah,
show.
He's fucking.
He's insane.
He's a mentalist. Like,
What
what was that question?
But yeah, would you prefer to, what would you choose? Human colonization on Mars or making Earth a better place for all life?
Earth. Because if
No.
you go to Mars, there's going to be more fights and rows over who controls Mars. You know, like
No.
political and
No,
governmental
right. Think
problems
about
like
this.
that.
Everyone's fighting over land,
Yeah.
right,
On Mars?
and water, and on Earth,
Oh yeah,
right. But if you go to Mars, there's so much more like
land
Room
and
to
water to
expand.
fight over.
exactly. But I think you see the way make the Earth a better place. Sure, what have we been doing for the last fucking 200
Yeah.
years? We've been trying. We're not doing very good.
We're doing terribly.
They're awful.
Well, actually,
Why are we doing terribly?
You'll just go to Mars
it's
and
not
wreck
even that we're
Mars.
doing terribly. It's just like
It's like
it's a big circle. Like we're coming full circle.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
water's
You should
full of
watch the podcast.
plastic.
Watch Alex Jones' podcast. He's on the Saber this way.
It's the water. Water's full of plastic,
Yeah.
and the air is full of fucking particulates and
Like carbon, like doing damage to the thing.
shit like that.
That-
There,
yeah.
air quality
Apparently
in
that
the
doesn't
city
happen.
is fucked.
Apparently that's not true. We're being told all this.
What do you
That
mean?
carbon, that stuff that
Oh,
fuels
emissions, like
that's going into the air
emissions?
actually
Yeah.
helps the Amazon. Helps
Oh.
grow the Amazon.
Really?
Because there's more
Mhm.
carbon dioxide.
Yep.
Yeah, but the air that you're breathing, it's not good.
Yes, but the air that if the forest grows, it's going to get better. It's going to.
But you're not in the
So
forest.
it's a big circle.
Well, that's where we get the air from. The Amazon forest.
I know,
makes
but
our
The
if
levels
you're-
of the earth. It's
Yeah.
not-
Everything's localized, though. If you're living in a city,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
bad
I
air,
know.
true.
I know.
Well, anyway, right? We're not doing a good job. I don't think anyway.
Mm.
But if you can go to Mars, you can start again more or
We
less.
can.
You know, fresh
Oh,
go.
Tricky questions.
And then you can let up
It
the
is a
carbon
great
dioxide.
question,
You can
but
let up
yeah.
the carbon dioxide Mars, and that's a good thing.
Plus,
then,
we'll have
because-
the technology of actually getting to Mars and like make. Have we got Mars?
Have we got the Mars? We put rovers on Mars.
Yeah,
and
send shit to Mars.
we're-
It's like
we're-
that Dumb and Dumber film. We landed on the moon.
like, this is the thing, though. Like, I thought about this. Like, it's a little bit off topic. It's still on Mars.
It'll just end in war, though.
Yeah.
Over who
It
gets
will.
to control Mars.
The thing with this
But
point,
sure,
right?
it happened here first. The war
Sure.
first.
Yeah.
Imagine this for a
The other
thought.
thing I always want to say before we move off Mars, if you're on Mars and
I'm staying on Mars.
a fucking comet hits the Earth,
Yeah.
at least there's you got to back up. Like
Yeah.
there's a chance humanity will exist on Mars.
Yeah.
Whereas if we make Earth brilliant, and then it
Yeah.
gets hit by a comet,
Or you could make Earth brilliant
What a waste
and
of
then go to
Well,
Mars.
Earth it is going to end at some point. Like it's done it before loads of times, Ice Age and the dinosaurs and all that. So it is going to happen at some point. Like.
that's why we need Mars.
Yeah, we need Mars.
Uh,
we need Mars.
Boys, what happens, right? Can you think what will happen when we get to Mars? Because it's going to happen, right?
Mhm.
But imagine we get to Mars and there's like caves, and in the caves are fucking drawings and stuff from
Yeah.
like ancient times.
It'd be so creepy.
People have
wouldn't it?
already fucking been on Mars.
I mean,
Like, can you imagine? Like, everything that we know is going to have to be rewritten.
It's like Earth 2.0.
Yeah.
Earth wasn't first.
Yeah, no.
yeah.
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 People are talking about this, like lost civilizations
Graham
and stuff like that.
Hancock,
Graham
man.
Hancock, he said that, there's a missing piece in the human story.
Yeah.
That there's a missing what we know. There's
The
something.
missing
There's
link.
something's happened.
It's not even that something. It's just that civilization goes back to further than that we're being told it does.
Mhm.
There's people before, people 12,000 years ago rather than just fucking like
Yeah.
2,000-3,000
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, they're finding stuff, which means humans lived.
Great question, by the way.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I like that. Final question this week comes from Live Berries. Live_berries. Sorry. What are your favorite chocolate bars? Or what is your favorite chocolate bar?
Snickers.
Snickers.
I want to go in. I want to finish strong.
If you had said Moirs, you were slowly leaving that window.
Mars is
No one likes a Moirs bar.
except Planet Mars.
I had a battered Mars bar in summer.
They're good.
Yeah, I bought it in the shop, took it to the chippy beside the barbers, and asked the girls to buy
You
it.
asked them to do it.
Oh, yeah. They do it.
That's
for
the
me.
thing in Scotland,
Yeah,
which is
that's why I don't.
no coincidence the most obese country in UK.
Is it?
Yeah,
Scotland.
yeah, Scotland's fucked.
That's why they eat like sheep inside
That should
the
be
sheep's
the
stomach. Served with
promotional,
more sheep.
come to Scotland, it's the most obese.
I've had battered Oreos before. They're delicious.
I really like them.
They're delicious. They're so good.
Even banana, even like banana fritters.
banana fritters.
They're
yeah.
lovely.
Pineapple
Pineapple
fritters.
fritters.
Chicken meal, yeah.
With
What was the
syrup.
best?
What are your
Your
favorite
favorite
chocolate
chocolate
bars?
I'm terrible for going off topic.
Um,
Mine's a Turkish delight.
oh,
Yeah. Okay. I knew you were going off of this. It's a curveball. It recently
so curved.
those Reese's peanut ones, they're crazy. But see, a Turkish delight. I think it's like when I was younger, Mum always had Turkish. It was her. It's like an older
yeah,
it
bar.
seems like that.
And even the Turkish delight squares, you can get them in home
I
bars.
love
with
them.
the
Yeah,
thing.
no, they're good.
Glass.
Like
and the
glass,
powder, and
they're
you
great.
drink the powder and after you've had them all. Yeah, like get into my eye. I know you.
Yeah, let's get powder.
You poke it, or you eat the powder. That's the
No.
nicest sugary part, like it's class.
Hang on, what do you
I
mean
know
you
what
eat
this
the
is,
powder?
but-
Just eat it with a spoon.
And then lick the pack, lick at the wee plastic.
Like a clean
You
bite.
gotta get your body's worth.
Is that not just caster sugar?
It's
It
not.
probably
It's,
is.
it's powdered
It's
sugar. It's like
powdered
icing sugar, basically.
It's nice.
Too
Yeah.
soft. What is this?
It's Turkish delight. You know, like the little cubes are like Turkish, like jelly.
Oh, yeah.
But the chocolate one is probably my favorite bar. Yeah,
Like the fries one and the wee purple pie.
fries peppermint cream. They're lovely, and there's a fries raspberry cream you can get in home
Yeah,
bargains as
yeah.
well, and it's a game changer.
You're
And there's-
promoting home
yeah.
bargain something
Yeah.
fierce
There's an
here
orange
right
one
now.
as well.
And what?
An orange fries
There is.
one.
I've tried it.
Is
It's
it
not as nice
spearmint
as the
one?
raspberry.
No.
The raspberry
Spearmint
is like the raspberry one is like the strawberry quality street.
I'm not a big fan.
No.
You like that?
I can't even think. I don't
No.
think I.
They're
ate
always
a whole
just
pint
left
of
in the
quality
tub.
shit.
Like,
They're my
Yeah.
favorite. I want to come to your house.
I don't like any strawberry, gooey, centery
no.
chocolate.
Same as the orange ones with the cream in them. It's not great.
I don't know. Chocolate bar probably. I still like Galaxy a lot.
Do you eat chocolate?
I eat dark chocolate.
Mm.
Um,
So dark chocolate bar.
Lint.
I love Kinder
Lint
Buenos.
is Lint's a chocolate.
Lint's a different type of chocolate.
Lint
Lint's on
is a
its own
chocolate.
out there. Like it's like a
good stuff.
forerunner of chocolates. You know?
Lint orange Lint. That's really nice.
No, there's one.
Terry's chocolate orange.
Terry's chocolate.
We could go here all day.
Terry's chocolate's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Kinder Buenos.
Yeah.
Terry's chocolate
in the
orange.
fridge.
Yeah.
Terry's
Put a
chocolate
Kinder
orange
Bueno
when
in
it's
the
come out.
fridge.
That'd be a good
Alright.
snap.
And like the it's nice and cold.
Oh,
wee bit of Kinder
I'll put
sauce
one
in
the
it.
fridge.
Yeah,
later.
The hippos as well.
Oh, the hippos
Oh,
are just
the
the game
hippos.
changers. Like.
No, the hippos.
Do you not like them?
Yeah, put
Batter-
the hippos
oh, yeah.
in and batter in the Kinders.
What about what do you call the other wee bars? And it's like the white.
Kinder Slice.
Yeah.
The milk in it. The milk.
You know the Kinder
Sorry?
eggs?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
They
yeah.
make that in a bar.
Yeah,
form.
you're talking about and they're like little like
Yeah.
the little bricks.
Yeah.
Kinder chocolates
What
on
do you call
another
them,
level.
right? I think
Yeah.
it's called Kinder bars.
Kinders,
Kinder or
just
something?
Kinders.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Oh my god.
No, they're called Kinder Slices, and then it's Kinder Milk Slice. Is the
Yeah.
I think they're slices.
I think they're slices. No,
Yeah,
I think
there's
they're
Kinder,
just-
there's like the little
different varieties.
Eggs as well. They're
The
called
bonbon.
bonbons.
The wee crispy bit.
There's a lot of good bars out there.
Ferrero
Galaxy used to be, but Dairy Milk's always a firm favourite for me. Like.
I like the Oreo one. Dairy Milk
Oh,
Oreo.
Dairy Milk Oreo's terrific. Actually. The sandwich one with the
No.
actual full Oreos.
You
in
have
it.
bought my favorite chocolate, Boston baked bean.
Boston baked beans.
Boston baked beans.
They're terrific.
They're unreal.
They're very good.
They're like an M&M peanut, but they're coated in like a. Do you ever eat a candy apple?
Mhm. Oh,
They're coated in that like red, dry, but
I've
it's not
seen
sticky.
them.
It's dry. You bite into it.
It's just
so good.
sugar. It's just sugar around a
It's
peanut.
sugar
It's
overload.
terrific.
Yeah.
M&Ms are good.
Oh,
They're not a bar, but like
Yeah. Not a bar.
who even cares at this
They're
point?
chocolate.
Peanut M&Ms?
Oh yeah,
Has to be peanut.
Crispy
Peanut
ones.
Yeah.
Peanut
No,
crispy
the
chocolate.
crispy ones are terrible.
No, peanut chocolate crispy.
Oh,
Really?
do you know what I
Yeah.
love? Cream
Christmas
eggs.
is so late.
Yeah.
I love cream eggs.
Cream is
We're getting
good.
into the like the festive
Season?
Christmas. Yeah, so
Oh, is it?
the
the
festive.
festive Christmas.
The
Yes.
fe-
The best kind of Christmas.
The festive sweets. So we're soon gonna have tins of sweets and celebrations and all that. Kind of.
Nice.
Gentlemen, that was
Oh,
community
shit.
questions for this week. To everybody who has sent one in, thank you so much. Your questions are very much appreciated on the show. If you want to get in touch with us with questions, queries, comments, tidbits, anything, do so through our Instagram or Twitter or our email, which is
emptypromisepodcast@gmail.com.
that's it. You can find the video version of this podcast over at youtube.com/emptypromisepodcast, and the audio is available on any podcast hosting service. Let's finish up this week with Personal What's Podcast.
What about Cage and the Beast? We're going to do one of those real quick. Any Nick Cage quotes?
Oh, have you got Nick Cage?
I've got a couple here, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. You had to take Nick Cage.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
It's the price of
How did
admission.
we forget?
That's
Yes.
what we're doing.
That was mine
Yeah.
the other week.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
all
right.
Did you say Nick Cage one earlier to us? Whenever Chris was at the toilet? No?
No, I just said he's being buried in a pyramid.
Oh, that's what it was, yeah.
You know, standard.
You probably know these, okay, but
Just to make sure that you
Okay.
did the work, like.
yeah. So Nick Cage
Fact
has
check.
inspired a lot of young budding actors to become actors. You know, one of them, well, so I won't tell you yet in case I'm going to ask you, okay? This guy was a young actor back in the 80s, okay? And he hadn't done any big screen stuff yet. But he's quite friendly with Nick Cage through his girlfriend at the time. He met up with him in Hollywood, and at this point Cage had done maybe 2 films. He was young, sort of getting in the scene. And he said to this guy, listen, you need to go and apply for this, or audition for this role in this film that's coming up. You'd be perfect for it, you got to do it. And the actor didn't want to do it, but Cage forced him to go and do it. He got the part. The actor is
What year is it? Or
early 80s.
early 80s.
Early 80s.
Is it someone big?
They're
Big
yeah,
name,
big
gotta be.
name. They were quite friendly with each other. Probably still
DiCaprio?
are. No, it was Johnny Depp.
Oh,
Ah, yeah, I was gonna say,
And the
Theory
movie
for DiCaprio.
Yeah, right now.
Is Nightmare on Elm Street.
No way.
He's in that.
Johnny Depp's in it. This is his first film.
There you go.
There you go. And it's a scary one, so I thought that was quite good. He didn't know
Oh,
it.
Johnny Depp is the guy who gets fucking
Yeah.
like pulled on
Yeah, he
from
plays
the
the part
bed
of.
with like his skin is like
He
ripped.
plays the part of Glenn Lance in
Ah.
the well-known scary movie and Nightmare on Elm Street. So only for Nick Cage, we wouldn't probably
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean, etc.
Wow.
Another
Sleepy
fucking
Hollow.
bit,
Sleepy Hollow.
You didn't know that? Did you know that?
Chocolat.
Wee quick funny one. Nick Cage was actually meant to be the role for the Green Goblin.
Oh.
Did you know that? I know the thought you would like that. He was number 1. He turned it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
What a man.
Also,
Even if
I've got another one here. Nick Cage
Even for Willem
always
Dafoe.
nearly always has a cool name in a movie. Remember I said earlier about getting cool names?
Yep. Like
Example,
Cameron Poe.
it's in it. Let me speak.
Sorry.
Randall Reigns, Gone in 60 Seconds. Castor Troy in Face Off. Balthazar Blake in The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
fucking hell. Right, let's
And
guess some of these.
Cameron Poe and Connor.
Okay.
That was just some of them. I
Okay.
thought they were quite cool. Like
Yeah,
Castor.
what's his-
But is he not playing himself in a new movie?
Yes, Nick Cage's
Yeah.
a pretty cool name though.
The unbearable weight
Nick
of
Cage is his name.
What's the
Another.
National Treasure? Benjamin something.
Benjamin Gates.
Benjamin
Yeah,
Gates.
you're right. I did remember seeing that there. Another one is he was once bailed out of jail.
John Travolta.
No, but I like it.
Right. He was.
The bail was $11,000.
Christian Bale.
Oh, I like it.
That would have been good.
But he's never got it because the person that bailed him out
John
is Doug the bounty hunter.
No way.
Doug the bounty hunter once bailed not Christian Bale, once bailed
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage out of jail for $11,000.
Is that guy from Dog?
He
The
hit
bounty
his, I
hunter?
think
Yeah.
Cage might have hit his, like, had an argument with his wife or someone and got thrown into jail. And Doug the bounty hunter,
Bale him out?
he became bailed him out.
There you go.
Just
Hey,
because.
What is
Is
Nick
that-
Cage's name in Ghost Rider?
I don't know. Also, Nick Cage isn't his real name.
Oh.
Do you know that, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's
he's
His
something
name is Nicholas Coppola.
Yeah,
He's the
Coppola.
nephew of Francis
Francis
Ford
Ford.
Coppola.
Yeah.
Right.
I did not
Uh,
know
He
that.
changed his name to Cage because he didn't want to get by on his
He didn't want to
Those
be known,
connections.
yeah, because Francis Ford Coppola.
Huge.
You know what I mean?
actor.
Yeah.
respect. Mad
Also,
respect,
one
Nick.
more wee point I want to make is, and I think you need to watch this film. The film is called Rumblefish.
What?
Rumblefish.
Rumblefish.
Now, you're big Nick Cage fans.
Sure.
It amazes me that you
Would we
haven't.
be doing this
It
podcast
amazes
otherwise?
me you haven't seen this film. So it's an iconic 80s movie shot mainly all in black and white. So it's a bit like Schindler's List.
That's why we haven't.
And it has, do you know black and white films?
Oh, that's different.
And it has a scene in it that there's colour. You know, in the film, like Schindler's List,
Oh.
where she had the red or
red
yellow
balloon.
scarf or something, balloon. So it's iconic for that. It's also iconic for, it's basically the film's about a young local thug called Rusty James, who's played by Tim Dillon, big 80s actor,
Yeah, I remember Tom.
who lives in the shadow of his older brother in a small town. His older brother is played by none other than Mickey Rourke.
Oh, cool.
So this is like, actors in this film's crazy.
It's big
Their
news.
dad is played by Dennis Hopper.
Who's Dennis Hopper?
Oh, come on, he's the guy from True Romance. He's out of like
From what?
True Romance.
This is the film you told me to watch.
Yes.
This is Tarantino.
Anyway, Dennis Hopper, he's A-list, big actor,
Right,
massive
okay.
actor, lots of films.
Big
Uh,
differ.
The movie, this same movie also features a young Lawrence Fishburne. For people that don't know that, it's Morpheus from Matrix.
That's the only one I did know.
Never
Yeah.
seen it.
I knew you'd know that. Rumblefish also stars a young, the one and only, none other than the star of Beauty and the Beast, Nick Cage. It was his third film, but it was his first big one that he got
Oh, what's the film
recognition
about?
for it. It's basically about this guy called Rusty James. He's a young thug. They're kind of ruffians from a local town that they're thugs.
Wow.
Is that Nick Cage's name? Rusty James?
No, Nick Cage's name is
Another
he,
cool name.
he has a cool name in it, but it's not Rusty James. Rusty James Tim Dillon. Now you have to watch this. It's Nick Cage's. It's his first big film.
Okay.
It's like introducing Nick Cage. This is it. He
An
is
introduction
he's
to
17 or
Nick
in it,
Cage.
18 in it.
Okay.
He's done.
Jesus, he's young.
So you just need to. I hope you like it. I think as well. It's an iconic film, and you
Okay.
really have to watch that. That's my
That's your
Nick Cage, Cage and the Beast for you this week.
Thank you for bringing
And
that
it's
to us,
also my recommendation of a Nick Cage one.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't know something actually.
You know, we're always learning more about Nick Cage.
Yeah.
You know, we don't lock things up because we want to.
We're
He's
always
just got
open.
it's
So
an
good.
endless supply
I like it.
of just
It
facts.
is endless.
Yeah, it is. It just seems to be endless.
Just
Anyway.
keeps going,
He's led
yeah.
an extraordinary life.
He has.
Yeah.
And now
Did you hear the gambling story last week?
I know he's a gambling problem. Yeah.
Oh,
He
that's,
hasn't gambled for like 10 years.
Oh really?
but do you know why? What
Yes,
what
in
finished
the podcast where he won 20 grand, give it to somebody. And listen, I'm up to date. Try and catch me out.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
That's an incredible story.
Yeah.
With him.
He's an incredible guy.
So he is, yeah. There's a filmy points. I hope he's like them, and that's
Thank
my.
you. Thank you very much for bringing this. That's great.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
I forget. That was Cage in the Beast. What was you gonna do?
Yeah, personal with the
Oh,
pod.
personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get personal with a pole.
This is my. Just want to shout out. This
Yeah.
is my favorite part of the podcast.
Yeah, and we've got that from a lot of
Yeah.
people saying that
It's
the
a
shit
good part.
talk and the personal with the podcast
See,
is
because
the best.
we changed it. We used to start the podcast with, right, how's your week's been?
Yeah.
And then we would go into, like, it used to be gaming.
It was
obviously.
gaming, and I honestly would fast
That's how
forward.
you drop
I would
off,
fast
yeah.
forward like the first 20 minutes or so
Now we
until
put
you.
this at the end.
Keeps people hanging on.
Hanging
I mean,
have
what?
to wait.
on.
Well, no, we include thumbnails now that everyone can just
That's good. I don't use them though, but
or timestamps, yeah.
Aye.
And thumbnails. We also have thumbnails.
Occasionally.
yeah, it's good that you do that. That is good.
But yeah, personal with the podcast. I very much enjoy this part as well, just because you get to hear our
Yeah.
silly recommendations.
Local
of
Armagh boys.
everything we've watched, eaten,
Done.
done.
Danced.
Should we start
Lived.
with food and stuff? I
Yeah,
suppose?
start with food this week.
What is anybody eaten that has been particularly notable. You had Domino's last night.
There you go.
Yeah, it was
Perfect
terrible.
use
I
of
had 2 Domino's this week.
That's
My
probably
Domino's
why.
last night was a gift voucher from the first one.
Oh.
See, they knew that.
You got
I'll-
free
I'll-
Domino's.
I'll tell you for why. I paid for one. It was terrible, right? So I rung up and made a complaint. Now, Russell Street is where I live, which is 200 yards from the door Domino's.
Yeah, right.
Ordered a Domino's, delivered. It was too lazy. And
Are you for real?
yeah, I also put on the delivery note, can you bring it right up to my apartment door? I didn't want to go out and meet him outside the apartment, right?
Oh my
I did
God.
say I'm on lockdown at the minute, which I'm not. So I covered
They're
myself.
watching
Covered
this
myself there.
podcast.
So
Till they watch.
I ordered the Domino's and it said pizza left, so I track it. Thinking, okay, I'm going to see him go boop boop, and I'll walk the door and
he
meet
probably
him.
went halfway around the country first.
He
didn't
done every order first and
Oh.
come back to me 20 minutes later, give me my pizza.
Cold.
I just went, I took it off him, I didn't say anything, I rung him straight away, man. I live around the corner. I watched this guy deliver everybody else's pizza and come back and deliver me last.
Yeah.
Like he must have known it's an easy mistake to make, I suppose. Like, but it's a stupid
See,
mistake.
they probably have like a wee computer that says this is the route you want to do, so
Yeah.
you don't
Mhm.
Get them
back
all
on
in.
This is
yourself.
the most. Yeah, this is the most.
Yeah. So I complained pizza was cold, and I got my pizza last night was free, but
Yeah.
you know
Shit.
I
That's
paid for
why.
it.
That's why it was
I
free.
paid for it.
Ever free. There's always a cost.
I could nearly. You sent me the video of you opening the bar. I could nearly smell the
Oh,
pizza.
it was thin and crispy. It was. I just went.
Ugh.
I went thin and crispy, and I went double pepperoni.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Just
that-
plain pepperoni. I think maybe heard you saying just plain pepperoni pizza before. And do you know what?
Pepperoni pizza.
It was
yes.
perfect.
Yeah, it is the
It
best.
was perfect. It tasted really good. But
You paid for it.
4:20 this morning.
Oh, God love it.
No.
Did you ever get the? Do you remember back in the day? The what do you call it, Chris?
The double deck.
The double decking.
Jesus.
Yeah.
man.
What have they done
Holy-
with it? Isn't it there anymore?
No.
It's gone. Yeah.
Because apparently too
Too
many
many-
people got fat.
Too many heart attacks. Yeah.
Well, that's their own
It was
fault
too
for
thin
ordering.
and crispy sandwich with a layer of garlic and herb
Oh
sauce.
fuck! I miss it so much.
It was so good.
Let's just make your own. Like add for 2 and then
Aye, no bother.
You could ask for a special order.
Something
Yeah.
about the.
just ask for 2
you should
thin and
talk about
crispy
Oh, you mean
Subway.
get-
and a big
fries.
tub of sauce.
Or I
Pour-
think like make my own home.
Oh Jesus! No.
I'm just like,
You're talking about the Subway rolls and all the sugar in them. It's bound to be like those pizzas with the.
oh,
Oh yeah.
There.
Oh yeah. They
You
were
ever
killing
feel
it.
after you eat a pizza? Like I see the big crust, I can't eat it.
Oh yeah.
I
Like,
have
I'll
to be
lie
thin.
there and just be like, oh.
It's
But-
brutal.
the problem is, like, if you have how many slices did the Domino's? 8.
8 for a medium, 10,
10
for
was
a
it?
large.
You've ate 8 of the meat and there's 2 left, and you're completely full.
You're finished.
That just can't be. That
can't.
can't be
Can't
left.
believe that.
Can't leave it.
Has to be it.
Yeah.
I had a pizza on Friday night, and the exact same thing happened. It's like it was sitting there, and I was like, I'm full. I would be so content to leave this, but it's not going to happen. Finish it.
Then you eat it, and then you feel worse.
You feel awful.
Yeah. You should just stop.
Yeah.
Question
Should've
yourself.
just- But if you stopped, you'd still feel pretty bad
Yeah,
because
'cause
you've
you'd
just
be
left 2
I've
slices.
just wasted
In the
this
back of
I
morning.
your
mean,
head.
don't get me wrong. If you left those 2 slices the next day, they're going to be terrific.
Because Domino's is so expensive, I think that's why you eat it like that.
yeah,
You're not going to
It
waste
is a joke. It's a joke. It's all expensive.
I
I was also in Five Guys this week. Went
Oh.
up to see my friend. She had a wee baby. Shout out to the baby's name, which is called Quinn.
Oh, nice.
Quite a nice name, Quinn.
Quinn.
So Megan, well done for that. I went up and seen her, and on the way up, I got Five Guys, but I didn't go for a burger. I went for a hot dog,
Oh,
an
no.
all beef hot dog with mushrooms, onions, and mustard,
That sounds great.
and it was really tasty.
Yeah, I've heard that the beef
That
hot
sounds
dogs are
good, actually.
terrific.
And the reason why is I went to go to McDonald's, and the queue was literally right out of Rushmere, out onto the roundabout part,
still
and I was
think
like, "Fuck,
when
that's
there's
here.
when
Five
there's
Guys no be in
a
it."
when there's a Five Guys and McDonald's beside each other, I'll be hard pushed to go into McDonald's knowing that.
I've
Five
said
Guys
this
are
before
right
to you.
there.
It's hard to beat a fresh McDonald's.
Mm.
I mean, fresh is they cook it whenever the chips are hot
Yeah.
and the sugar on them and the burgers are just right. Very, very rare that you go to McDonald's and you get it fresh, you get it good, but see what it
Here's
is.
the thing though with McDonald's, like you're never gonna come out of McDonald's with that like kind of like, oh, it was amazing, the same way you would at Five Guys, like.
Yeah.
But you'll always come out with that kind of like, that like familiar kind of
Satisfying.
like, that was a good McDonald's.
Have you ever
It's
put
good.
an apple pie out of McDonald's in the McFlurry?
No.
I've had the two
Into
of them
the
together. I never
Yeah.
put it in, but yeah.
After
And the same with the
you eat that, you will
milkshake.
be
Yeah.
satisfied.
Chicken nuggets
I
with a
used to
milkshake.
dip my entire McDonald's into a
Yeah.
milkshake.
I've actually got a wee shout out this week on the personal of the podcast. Yeah, it's for I sort of took down a few wee points over lockdown stuff that's got me through the lockdown.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Yeah.
so it'd be nice to say them.
And from podcast number 1.
I'm here. This is the first time here, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, so naturally,
I'm gonna shout a few
empty
things out.
promise.
He's okay with that?
Yeah, naturally, empty promises kept you going through lockdown.
It has, yeah.
That's the
So
main one. Like.
That's
Yeah.
I was it's in it. It's to thank yous, you know, and to watch your journey.
You're welcome.
Watch your journey from a podcast back then, which are nowhere near as good as what they are now. You are getting better and doing the whole podcasting thing.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not saying you were shit before, but you are fucking good. This is good show. Like
Good
I like
progress.
watching it.
Thank
So
you.
it's you have kept me going. I bought a few things that I've bought. Okay, one of them is a weighted blanket.
Yeah.
No, complete game changer.
Yeah.
Complete game changer.
Yeah.
A complete.
I can't
Not
sleep
only
without
do
it.
you feel snug and capped in the bed, but it helps for anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Which I don't have any of that, but it's helped me. So it's
It also
good.
aids with recovery as well.
Yeah. Another
That's
thing
the
that you've
thing.
seen, have you seen it? No, you haven't seen it. I bought an air diffuser. I told you about this.
Yep.
A what?
That's the thing you said we should buy for the podcast.
So use your bad for this table. It sits here about the size. Air coming out with a mist, and you put a wee bit of lavender oil in it.
Oh,
You know what?
that's nice.
Cleans the air, nice, fresh.
Is it for the purposes of smell? Or
It's
is it-
smell and it helps. It does
Clean air,
it
like.
cleans air. Yeah. So they're two massive game
God,
changers.
the air up here
Another
is pretty brutal.
okay. Another is slow cooker. Unreal.
We have
my
a slow
girlfriend
cooker.
has been pushing for us to get a slow cooker.
Yeah.
Unreal. And the last, I got an espresso maker during lockdown as well. Which
Do you
is
cook
really
a chicken in your slow cooker?
I did. You see that?
That looked
Yeah,
great.
seen
That was unreal.
That looked great.
Yeah,
that
thank
chicken.
you. The espresso maker as well. Then locally, so these I couldn't get through lockdown and stuff without Mai Tai.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving them a shout out because they're unbelievable.
Delicious. I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
Hold on, whoa,
I
what
still
is
haven't
this?
had one.
It's a Thai
It's
takeaway.
Because I was thinking Mai Tai.
Oh,
Mai
like
Tai.
the fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
That you
Muay
took
Thai,
up
like, you know,
Muay
like
Thai?
jiu-jitsu.
Muay Thai.
I could
Kick
not
in the
have got
head.
through it without all my rage.
You know, just Mai Tai restaurant, unbelievable. So fresh, you eat it and you're left feeling like just
Like God.
like class. My recommendation for in there is whatever meat you like. I go for the prawn stir fry in basil with boiled rice.
Okay.
Ooh.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Boiled rice?
With boiled rice. And you could just go for a vegetable stir fry in basil. And they would
enough.
do you that.
Yeah.
Because the vegetables in it are
We
unreal.
also do tofu, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, good. And the dumplings, pork dumplings out of it is just crazy.
What
Unreal.
I
Dumplings.
really want one.
They're like little
I
or
don't know.
pastry things, aren't
They're
they?
Yeah.
made of suet. It's called. That's like a. I don't even know what it is.
They sound
Yeah.
nice.
So
Well,
Mai
I've seen
Tai,
them look delicious.
Mai Tai was in there for me. Also, Crackpot, coffee class. I'm down there every day. And 4C, the new place at the top of the mall.
Seen that?
Went lovely on the inside. The times that I went in, food was okay.
Yeah.
But the takeaway stuff that they're doing at the minute because of the lockdown,
Seen your
It's
breakfast
nice,
last week, the pancakes and stuff.
unbelievable.
Look fucking
It was one of the
delicious.
best fries and pancakes that I've had. So anybody, they're doing a takeaway, you ring them in or message them on Facebook. They'll sort you out.
Yeah.
And that,
Some good-
also my PT, Freeman Fitness, Chef Freeman. We're going to give him a wee shout out.
keeping you fit during lockdown.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of paid him all up front for like 4 weeks training,
Nice.
3 PTs a week,
Mhm.
get me back into the gym.
It's
I
important.
know you're doing that stuff soon, so I'm going to come out to you and get a few PTs for you and your setup and stuff. See
Shout
what
out.
you're like. See what you're
Let's
like.
go.
No, see what you're like. So shout out to Shay. Thank you. And that is it.
Good.
That's just it. Yeah, a few wee things that.
Kept you going during lockdown. That's
That's
important.
like
yeah.
Gavin's top. Like that's like Gavin's Guy Dharma. That's what that is.
Gavin's
Probably
Guy
is.
Dharma,
Gavin's Guy
yeah.
Dharma, yeah.
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 Every
Part
time
of
you're
the
on, you're gonna
podcast.
have
Nice
to-
coffee, crackpot.
Anytime you're
You
on,
want a
yeah,
tie?
we don't want-
Update
My
that.
tie.
Yeah, right now, anytime you're on, we need updates. That. So it can't be the
Yeah.
same thing. It needs to be something
Yeah.
different.
Maintain
Yeah.
that.
So people are going to start seeing him walking in and being like, you know, like a Yelp reviewer being like, oh shit.
Gavin,
Yeah,
what's
I'm already
good-
getting
what's good
messages
for
on like
Chinese
Instagram.
Gavin?
People telling me you must own half of Mai Tai or something. Like,
Yeah.
you see, like literally last week I had 5 Mai Tais in the week.
Yeah, I know.
I had them every night of the week. I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday.
Fuck.
Keeping that place
Pardon
going.
my
but-
French.
Yeah,
I
it's
still
good.
haven't had one.
Single-handed.
That's terrific.
You'd love it.
I like the
I think
pad
I would
thai.
like it.
Pad Thai was one. Yeah. Also, the thing about Mai Tai is when you go in, a lot of people don't eat in there because of they don't know what to order.
Yeah.
It's Thai food, and like,
Yeah.
listen, the girls in there will help you out. They're
Yeah.
class, and they'll ask you what sort of spices you like it and stuff, and the food's just unreal.
Yeah, it is good food. It's very,
So
very
there you
good.
go.
I'll have to get one.
Yeah, that's
That's food
that's
covered.
mine. So.
Have you
Quite
had any
comprehensive.
decent food
Yeah.
this week?
Yeah, I had I went to what they call it, like artisan wood fire pizza in Belfast. Got them
Oh.
delivered yesterday.
What was that like?
Really
Heard
good,
that.
really good dough, really well cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I got a calzone as well, like a mini calzone, but it had hot sauce in it.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Did you order hot sauce?
Don't like calzones.
It's like it was
Never had
that's
one.
like the build of it. Like it was meant to have hot sauce. I didn't really check too much. I was like calzone, fucking stick it in there.
Okay.
I didn't like the hot sauce. Laura loved it, so she got at least got the benefit. I did not. Pizza was delicious.
Yeah.
The fries, we got pizza fries as well, which I was like, I couldn't wait for these pizza fries coming. Like chips, marinara sauce, cheese, bits of pepperoni. I was like,
Sounds
I
delightful.
was ready for it. Chips weren't good.
Oh.
Except for a letdown. It was
What, in what way was it like that?
They were
Just-
thick. They were like chunky chips,
I
but
don't
they
like thick
weren't
either.
They weren't like fluffy or nothing. They were like
No.
you know.
I like
Yeah.
a fry.
Like French
Yeah,
fries.
fry.
Like, see bootleggers do good fries.
Bootleggers fries.
They're fries.
are, like,
I've never had the fry. I only ever had the sweet potato.
yeah,
Oh,
sweet potato.
fries.
Yeah.
Or something
Oh, I
like
have it. Yeah, you can get both. Like sweet potato fries, normal fries, and like there's a
The aioli
Yeah.
sauce.
That aioli sauce I drink. I would just
yeah,
drink.
Wagamama
I would
as
get that on
well.
a drip.
You don't Wagamama yet?
No.
Yeah, you need to do it. You'd love it too, because you eat.
you
Yeah.
do, yeah.
Chris is crazy. Like I cut
does
Chris's
eat.
hair, and like he tells me about all these beans and shit he's eating, and fruit and vegetables and stuff. And I'm going, Chris, how many calories are you eating? He's like, I don't know, like 6,000. I'm going, what? How are you getting in 6,000 calories? Like whenever you were training and doing running and stuff, you were eating high calories. Like
Yeah.
you told me when it's mad.
Lots of fats.
I don't know how you're getting it from beans.
Well, it's not just beans. Like I eat
It
a lot
sounded
of,
like a lot of beans. Like we used to
It
call
is
you the,
being
Chris,
beans.
it's a
used to,
lot of
used to
beans.
call you the beaner.
I do eat a lot of beans, but I eat a lot of like avocados and peanut butter and stuff, which is just loaded with fats. Like it's loads of calories. Like you know,
Yeah, it is, isn't
you know,
it?
sauces and stuff. Marinara.
Are you still
sauces,
eating
pastas.
that amount of calories?
Whenever you're stuck, you
wouldn't
just
be
start.
wouldn't be 6. I'd be closer.
4?
Be but 4, if not just under 4,000.
You burn 4,000 a day. I got a Fitbit as well during the lockdown. Yeah, I always would have called them the shit bit because I always thought they were crap.
Shitboard.
Do you like what I done with that?
Yeah.
Shit bit. Had a Whoop strap last year for like my analytics.
Well,
I had it for a year. I liked it. I subscribed it for a year, and the strap came free. I know you'd probably heard it in the Joe Rogan podcast. and
I was
stuff.
thinking about going
What
for
are
it
they?
For you need to take Whoop.
Yeah.
What is
you
it?
need, you need to do
It just covers all of like your your full analytics, like your heart rate, your calories,
your sleep
burned,
as
your
well.
sleep,
It's
everything. Now you were a big fan of sleep tracking before. You used an app.
it's
on
the
your
big
phone.
one for sleep tracking.
And I still wanted to get a sleep tracker, but I'm
I got
kinda
a-
unconvinced. With
I got a
sleep
£30
trackers.
strap from Xiaomi,
Yeah, that's good.
and it did all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
class.
The big thing for it was sleeping, because it could tell
Yeah.
how restless you were and stuff.
Yeah.
You see,
This-
that's what I'm like. I'm just like, are they accurate? Like, are they accurate?
Now the most accurate one is Whoop, and it's been tested and stuff, and all the CrossFitters,
Yeah, that's
UFC,
where I
they're
was
big.
thinking from.
They're all, and if them guys are
All
wearing
of them
Whoop,
are in
then you
Whoop,
know like
yeah.
they've got the best.
Depends what you're looking accuracy in as well. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be accurate as in everything. Like
Yeah.
but it was good for heart rate and steps. That's all I used it for.
See, I've had a watch before where it tells me I'm doing. I've had like a little Fitbit tracker, and then I've had a watch. One of them tells me exact same distance walked. It's like you've walked 2,000 steps. The other one's saying you've walked 12,000 steps. I'm like, right, well, one of these is wrong. And one of them saying I've burned like 1,000 calories. The other one's
Yeah.
telling me I've burned 500. So I find I'm not completely sold on trackers and that just yet. Heart rate monitors, I definitely would be.
Mhm.
Big fan of heart rate.
It's nice to see whenever like you're like it goes up and you're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Exactly.
12 o'clock.
Oh yeah, in the middle of the night it
yesterday.
goes up. You must be having a dream. It happens to you all the time.
It's
Yeah.
mad, like.
Yeah.
And then like do you ever track like your deep sleep and that, like your REM or something? It's like
You did,
it's
didn't
only mine's only like 2 hours a night or not even.
Yeah,
It's-
like once you realize you're not getting enough, you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
you know something.
scares
Do
you.
you know what you can do as
doesn't it,
well
like,
in them apps? Well, the one I have, it'll record like sleep talking. It'll record noises
Really?
in the middle of the night.
Wow.
I'd turn that
See, I
off
don't like that. Yeah,
Why?
silent.
I
Oh,
talk in
weird.
the sleep.
because it was picking things up in the middle of the night, and it was
Yeah.
normally me just like rustling or moving or something like that there. But I couldn't listen to the damn things
No.
because I was fucking shitting myself. Go, what the fuck am I about to
Yeah.
hear?
What if you did hear
I
something?
know.
Holy
That's-
shit, man.
I turned it off. I
What
said,
if
I'm not
you
listening to
spoke
this
in
anymore.
like a Latin or like a
The tongues?
you know, like
yeah.
Would have liam my door,
Yeah.
like the Slytherin snake from
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. I don't want to hear that shit. Like,
Holy shit.
I got another thing that tells me to keep talking now. It's called my girlfriend.
man.
She'd soon kind of shut the fuck up.
James, be quiet, please.
That
Pizza
dog-
fries. The pizza fries. They're so
They're
bad.
coming from me.
I always had nightmares every time I eat spicy food. Like and my dad, I remember being young, right? My dad's nuts. Like every night before bed, he would go to the fridge and take a couple of big. He would have his cheese in the fridge. We even know it was our
Oh,
dad's
yeah.
cheese, so he would go and just take a couple big bites out of it before he sleeps. And went, I'm down for a good nightmare of the night.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Cheese
man.
does.
He would eat cheese going to bed, hoping for nightmare.
Apparently cheese is like a...
Yeah, and spicy food.
Kickstarter.
Every time I get an Indian, fucking bad dreams.
That's mad, eh?
Mm.
What's mad to me as well is that you know that it's like Indian food will
Yeah.
spicy food is going to leave
But
me.
Indian food's so good. Shabla.
That's why I don't eat anywhere near when I sleep. Again, brought to me by James D. Downey, intermittent fasting. I
You
eat and then I stop and I'm good.
Getting better night's sleep as well because you're not fucking full. and, like-
Exactly.
I prefer to go to bed like I prefer to go to bed full.
Yeah.
You don't sleep as well because your
No,
body
you
is
don't, yeah.
working, it's doing stuff.
It feels, you mightn't feel, you know, like as you say, you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
sleep better, but to me it feels like I sleep better.
You'll fall asleep better.
I
Yeah.
fall asleep and I won't move.
It's
or
like
anything.
going to sleep drunk as well. Like
Yeah, I have a
you'll
terrible
just be
fall.
out,
Yeah.
but like your mind is fucked.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting the
Yeah.
rest.
See, the other night we happened to train. We trained late. It was the one and only time in ages I've trained late. I think we started training at like 8 o'clock,
8
finished just
o'clock.
after 9. I had the worst night's sleep of my
You
life.
were
I
buzzing,
slept like a
Yeah.
log.
Just filled with like
I
adrenaline
didn't.
and like cortisol and shit, and you're laying in bed, and normally I put in a podcast, and about 30 minutes in, I'm like just switch off the phone and I'm out. Switched it off, and I lay there for like 40 minutes, being like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I could
Yeah, you're
just
pumped.
feel my
You're
heart
pumped.
just been like,
Not me.
Adrenaline
know.
floating around.
First time I took one of these in like months, maybe a year, was
Yeah.
coming down the road here. I took it at like 7 or 8. I did not sleep at night till about 4 in the morning. But.
Jesus.
And I was like, and I had a podcast the next day.
Yeah.
I was super fucking tired here. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck did this?
I topped you up with another one then.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple of them now since that happened, but yeah, for whatever reason, like I don't know if it was caffeine or was it just like I was in a new, like I wasn't in a regular bed as a home house bed, so like maybe it was that. But I normally sleep perfect fine. Slept fine last night, like.
Jesus.
But that night I was fucking
The caffeine does
off
that
the
shit,
walls, man.
Sorry, getting back to your pizza fries because we
Oh
deviated
yeah,
from
that's
that.
where we
Did
took
we?
off from.
Pizza fries. Anything else? Yeah, nice.
Fuck, I think I had a kebab during the week. It was delicious. Like I love them so much.
You're a chicken tikka man. You're not a donor.
That's
aren't you?
right. Yeah, I love the chicken tikka. I don't mind the doner. Like it just wouldn't be my go-to.
I don't like chicken tikka.
No,
I like
No?
donor.
donor.
Yeah.
Everything on it.
That meat.
Everything on it.
Fuck.
Extra
Laura
garlic
is
sauce.
steak, like shredded like steak pieces as well. The house sauce.
The combination of chili and garlic sauce is like, especially when you miss your mouth and it runs down. Like, you go like that and you're like, it's so good.
You know,
Kebabs bring out the best in people, don't they?
We can all gather around and agree on that.
Yeah.
Delicious at least.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fucking
So bad,
good,
but so good.
Yeah.
Aside from that, the steak that we had during the week, as I mentioned,
Excellent.
was nice. But it was just like a fillet steak. You fucking fire it on, flip it around. It's your ton, like. It was lovely.
You cook it yourself on the pan or
Yeah,
oven?
on the pan.
Both? Just pan?
Butter basted,
Oh yeah. Of course.
Nice. You
Always.
done it right.
but no oxo cube.
No.
Ooh.
So we fucked
next-
up there.
next
Next
time.
time.
Oxo cube it and then pan then oven.
I don't know, I don't
You were
really trust
ballsy enough
myself.
putting that ox cube on that steak because that was a hell of a steak, like, and you,
Yeah.
it could have wrecked it. And imagine
it
it did.
wasn't good, like.
Imagine it
In
wasn't
the
good.
empty promise we trust.
Well, yeah,
If
exactly,
you
like,
get,
I
if you
trust
get
it.
recommendations from here, like
3.5 minutes either side, then put it in the oven until the asparagus was cooked. Once
Chris
it
has
was
a mug,
cooked-
everybody, by the way. It just says plant-based princess.
that was a gift from
I
Angie
would
Shack
say-
who provided
Oh, there you go.
our
Oh.
question.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
It
awesome.
says, it says sick on it.
Honorary Shack sibling number 5.
Very good, lovely girl.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant.
It was a custom made mug. Yeah,
You couldn't beat that.
good, huh? No. What I had a lovely pizza yesterday. You see, my food.
Let me
whenever I
guess.
talk about it, I'm like, yeah.
Plain pizza.
What's the point? Like, it was a cheese pizza, fake cheese pizza. It was fucking delicious.
Perfect idea.
M&S do a
I've
fantastic.
never done a pizza from M&S.
Oh, they're
Fresh
good.
pizzas, man.
I had
Yeah,
one
yeah.
yesterday, pepperoni.
The
It's got like a cauliflower cheese sauce on it as well, which is
That sounds
terrific.
revolting.
It's terrific.
what?
But there's
sounds
no actual
revolting.
cauliflower on it. It's just cheese.
Cauliflower is one of those things that sounds like it's disgusting, but doesn't it
I
not
like
really taste of
cauliflower.
anything?
Nope.
Just make it taste whatever you
Tastes
want.
like
Yep.
white broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Tastes
white
like
broccoli.
yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Chinese.
That
last night,
artisan wood-fired place, they do a vegan pizza
Do they?
with fake cheese, or whatever cheese we can call that.
Excellent. See, I don't really like the coconut alternatives to cheese because they just taste kind of funky. But some places do like a really
Funky.
nice cheese. I also had a katsu curry with sweet potato breaded in panko crumb yesterday for lunch.
That smelled great.
It was terrific.
Are you a good cook? You seem like a good cook.
You kind of
Uh,
have to be, don't you?
Yeah.
The recipes that I do be cooking and stuff like that are just all real simple. I mean, you basically fire everything into one big pot and you just wait for it all to
And
come
slow cooker,
together.
like, it's that slow cooker,
Yeah.
it's just a
It
game
was
changer. Like,
D again put me on to cooking my own Mexican rice, and from that, like, I
heard,
had it.
heard
Like,
about this?
Yeah, good stuff.
you had it. You
I
had
had it. We had it the other night as a family
As a
for dinner,
family, yeah.
and it was great.
In the Mexican rice, would you throw we surprise in it? Maybe chop up a pineapple, throw it in
don't.
the rice. You get a wee bit of sweet.
No, you wouldn't do that.
Would you not?
no.
No.
I actually
That's where
haven't,
we
but
draw the
that's-
line.
Like I would.
Would you make it sort of Thai then, like because the Thai put pineapple in the
See,
rice.
I'm
It's
not
nice.
a fan of that kind of sweet, savory
that's-
I
blend.
like that.
That's nice.
Yeah. That's why I don't like pineapple on pizza. Same
That's
thing.
nice. I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
like
this on,
hot-
and I bet you like this. A Peshwari naan.
Oh,
Man,
jeez,
don't
they
even
are
start
the
like sugar
best.
naan, sweet
Do
naan.
you know what I
bread.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I
Unbelievable.
adore sweet naan bread, but I can't eat. We can't eat now
Why?
because they got milk in them.
Oh, Chris, why don't you just go off it for a couple of months? Instead of doing like a Sobertober, do like a eat whatever you want February.
Right enough. Instead of doing vegan
Short
January,
month,
do
one
a
week.
Meet
Days.
November.
Do a not even just dairy.
And also another thing, you should
do a dairy
You
Christmas.
should do like
Dairy. Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Dairy
Yeah.
Christmas.
you know, like Rogan and all does the Spooktober and do challenges. Why don't you indeed do a challenge against each other?
We'd love to do that. I think that would be fantastic.
And you could do a
Sober
counter and count them up
You
as the
did?
year goes
I
on.
didn't.
Like,
Did you not?
First time I drank in about a month since Frank was up.
Just swap
I didn't-
lifestyles.
I go vegan for a month and you have to eat
yeah, like do stuff like that.
kebabs and pizzas. God, you so rigid, wouldn't you?
I'll swap.
I couldn't do that.
Do like
Yeah.
versus
We could
Chris
definitely
versus
do some kind of challenge.
James
I
and-
think that would be pretty good. Again, if someone
Someone's not-
They are.
organises
They're
this
gonna
kind
want
of
to see it today.
stuff.
I
Should do,
want to see it.
but just nothing physical or
I like
eating
physical.
healthy.
I like
None of
physical.
those things because I won't win.
I like physical.
What'll we do? Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting up early or something like that. You'd win a game.
Getting up early.
You could just take like an easy, simple
Do you
general
know-
knowledge test on your phone. Who's the smartest? Who's got the best general
The-
knowledge? I know out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me that.
Yeah.
Dave's won this one, but
You
I'm
see,
just
like,
saying you
That's
could.
the problem. Like most of them, like I'm going with the ones you see on YouTube. It's like go off caffeine for a month.
Yeah.
You did it for like 6 months
Yeah.
or a year.
So
I'm gonna
You
be
do stuff. Like,
fucked.
you're good at this. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just do
you
it.
are
You,
good at stuff like
you don't even
that.
do a challenge. You just do.
You know what? You'd be good in that show. Do you know about the army? They go out and train. The guys train them.
SAS.
SAS. Who does wins?
I think I just have a strong will for certain things. You know.
Oh,
I
he's
can-
got a strong will.
I can, no, but I can
Ready,
endure
yeah.
shit like without it actually seeming like I'm enduring.
Like see the running you do. Like it. I don't know how you do it. It's mentally as well. Like, just running.
All that shit. You have to just like push through. You have to make that like a habit. Like it's just you just do that.
Yeah.
You just do that.
Yeah.
That's my
He's,
problem. I would be like going, I am going to start doing that.
But it doesn't even
And
become
the
a
first
habit.
time I have to do it, it's such a struggle. I'm like, the next day I'm not
becomes
doing it.
addictive.
It doesn't become a habit anymore. It becomes a lifestyle. And one of the
Yeah.
clearest things from that is like I started Iron-Ons with like about 8 weeks ago. And like even from the photos that you seen the other day that you took of yourself, like the change
There's
in
some
him is
change.
absolutely
Yeah, I said to you
ridiculous,
the last
like,
time
yeah.
Aaron was in the barbers. I said
Yeah.
Aaron's training.
You know, he's
It's nice to hear anything as well whenever you are training. Like
Yeah, someone
you know,
else
somebody
says,
says, "Do you hear about your
yeah.
filling out the top ward?" You know, it's a nice wee lift
Yeah.
to their day. Like you know,
Exactly. Not only are we training with weights now, like he's prepping for an ultra marathon with me. Like
Doing the
An
running
ultra?
too.
Yeah.
that's
You
100
doing
miles.
marathon?
yeah,
Hmm?
we're doing
You're doing a marathon?
50k now.
No,
in January.
half
1st,
marathons.
You're going to go straight for the ultra from the half?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's what the
We
training
slowly
is.
up it,
I just
yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah.
I just do whatever coach tells me to do.
Coach. I'm putting me in
Coach
coach.
Chris, yeah. Coach
But
C.
I'm trialing a couple of different programs and they seem to be working.
They
so
work
we're just
Do you track your food or anything like that?